It's over here.
Oh, there it goes. It's going now.
Oh, we're back.
Where was it at? Make sure it doesn't happen again.
No, it's not It's not on the. It's going straight into the laptop. It's one of those two.
Okay. I can see the road now.
Yep. No worries. No worries. We'll start this whole thing over. We'll start the intro over.
Greasy pizza fingers.
All good, man. All good. All right. Well, welcome back to another MotoXpod presented by Yamaha and Race Tech. This is episode 378. We've had a couple weeks off, so yeah, nothing abnormal really. A few.
Yeah. What happened?
Yeah, I don't know. What are we talking about? Anyway,
we do a podcast.
What? What's a podcast?
Yeah, what's that?
Episode 378 presented by Yamaha at Yamaha Motor USA. We don't just build motorcycles, we engineer legends. From championship podiums to off-road trails, the YZ platform has defined dirt bike excellence for generations. Whether it's the raw two-stroke power of the YZ 250, the precision of the YZ 250F, or the absolute dominance of the YZ 450F, every YZ is built for riders who push harder and ride faster and demand the best. So unleash victory, ride Yamaha. Visit YamahaMotorsports.com. I was saying when we had no audio that I've been shredding around this last weekend, Saturday, Sunday, on my new YZ 250F, and I'm in love with this thing. Maybe we'll have some time to talk about that as the Yamaha Motor USA opening chat goes on. As I said, this is episode 378 featuring Rockstar Husqvarna Factory Racing's Daxton Bennick. Switch teams. Mm-hmm. All the riders are at Feld Media Days today and yesterday, so lots of stuff coming out from there. But we also have tonight from WUSA and a new project they're working on, W Lab. John Anderson, he and his wife own WUSA. He'll be on later tonight to talk about what's going on with them. If you're watching on YouTube, my new W wheel, my front wheel sitting here. It's a DID dirt star rim with kite hubs. They're really sweet, man. I love them. I can't wait to get them mounted and just waiting on some hardware to come in for my rotors and brake and sprockets and all that stuff for the rear. But yeah, anyway, John's going to be on. It's going to be a lot of fun. And then from Atlas Brace, CEO Brady Sheren is going to come on, join us. And we're going to talk about the USA Today story that came out, I think, mid last week, something like that. So yeah, we're going to get into that. Plenty of topics to talk about tonight. Hudson Short, Turd's going to be on for Turd's Take. We're going to recap his Minios, and we're going to talk about a video that someone might have sent me of him trying to climb a hill. That's pretty entertaining. Good stuff. Good stuff. And yeah, we got Daxton in about 10 minutes. In studio, as always. Always consistent, always trustworthy. Scotty, working the cameras. What's up, man?
If only I was as consistent on mechanicking as I am on the podcast, it would be good.
Yeah, and honestly, only if you had caught the fact that the audio wasn't working on the laptop. I mean, you got it right there in front of you.
Yeah, it was
me. Y'all are welcome.
Oh, yes. We're going to blame it on the guys here part-time.
Part-time
One of our part-time guys.
Always blame it on the part-time.
Chase Moore. What's up, Chase?
Yeah, I can't get on the full-time program.
He's not.
Well, there's just not enough seats for a full-time for all four of us. TJ's out of town.
I also don't care.
And also, it is as soon as he sits in this chair, he's not Chase, he's Garth.
Yeah,
I'm not going to call him Garth. I'm going to go Chase. The chat and the listeners can call him Garth.
All right, well, fine. Exclude yourself. That's fine.
All right. So let's start with World Supercross. We have one round left. South Africa this coming weekend. We just finished up with Stockholm, Sweden. This series, I said it on Pulp last week. I'm really excited about the series. Like, I think a lot of people are like, oh, it's not that exciting now. There's no wild cards, blah, blah, blah. But I honestly, and I think I posed this question on Pulp, was like, was it a good thing to have wild cards? Maybe we even talked about it on this show a few weeks ago, but does it hurt or help the series because will it take away when they're not there? For me, last round and this upcoming round, I have literally been like, I couldn't wait to watch. Because of the time of day, I watched it a little bit later in the afternoon, but I was at the track. I was like, man, I want to get home. I want to watch this. Dude, we have a championship coming down, top three riders, 1 point apart from all three riders.
I got you.
With some of the best, first and second are tied. Christian's 1 point down. And these are some of the best riders in the world. Yes, I understand they're not Jet Lawrence, but what I was thinking over the last week is, if you had gone to Stockholm last weekend, maybe you've never been to a Supercross race, it's the first thing you've ever seen, you don't know who Jet Lawrence is, you don't know who Chase Sexton is, you're like, this is pretty cool racing. The track was brutal. It wasn't a typical Supercross track. And we have the final race next weekend, 1 point separating three riders. That's a hell of a cool series. Mm-hmm. At the end of the day, we're a little bit spoiled maybe with what we have here But I'm excited about the World Supercross Series. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I think having the wild cards there is on a whole is a net positive because you're going to get people that might not have came to begin with.
Agreed.
So like it's not going to I don't see that it hurts the rounds that they're not there. And then like how long has it been since we've seen Anderson, Savacci, and Craig in a title fight?
Yeah,
pretty cool.
Exactly. I mean, that's my point is well, it's a point anyway that this is a cool series. If you really just love dirt bike racing. And Scotty, if you can step away and say, "Oh, well, Jet's not there and Chase is not there. The best guys aren't there." Who cares? It's good racing.
Yeah, I love watching nothing but rollers and whole Supercross.
All right, Mr. Negative.
Well, it's cool. No, I like rollers.
I loved that track too.
I know.
Probably. I get why some people didn't like it.
It's not the usual. We don't like change.
Yeah.
I get it. It was interesting to watch them. It was a different style of race. It was more about hitting ruts consistently, or not hitting rhythms consistently.
Christian struggled.
Yeah,
a couple guys struggled.
It definitely made the race a different type of race, which I thought was interesting. I just wanted to get a.
Yeah, but I mean,
we have fun here, right? It's a fun show.
Since I wrote that article like a year ago, like recapping 1993 on Vital,
they all look like that.
I was like, every track was different, right? There was different track builders, different types of dirt. It wasn't the same cookie cutter. Let's take this section. Oh yeah, we're gonna move it over here, and this weekend it's after the whoops. This weekend it's before the whoops, but it's the same section. These tracks are all different.
Yeah, it is cool. It is cool. Like
I don't see
we
how
got to get away in our Supercross series to where they show up to a track and on the first or maybe even second lap, they're already doing triples and quads.
Yeah.
And like they don't change it the rest of the day. And like
why can't we add 20 feet to a triple?
I don't think they're
10 feet.
I don't think they're going to change anything because I believe it was on Pulp. They said maybe no more free practice, just 2 12-minute sessions.
Yeah, I do think they're supposed to be getting.
Which I mean is fine.
No, I'm cool with that. But I'm saying they're not going to. That's going to make them less.
Yeah, they're going to make it even more safe and cookie cutter.
Exactly.
Yeah,
maybe I don't know. We may get more into some World Supercross talk throughout the evening because I think there's going to be some gaps in between some of our guests where we may need some stuff to talk about, and I may get back to that. Did you have something?
I was going to say I will agree with you on the fact that the more uncomfortable and technical the track is, the better the racing is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah,
like when they're uncomfortable,
it's different.
It's different, and it's nice.
Right? Like we have a hard pack track 2 weeks ago. I think was it Australia was hard pack or was it Australia or was it
Australia was hard pack?
Yeah, that was like hard pack,
groove.
right? So, and then we had a track that was all sandy this weekend, and I keep saying Venezuela, but it was Argentina, right?
Yeah,
it's like that track broke down and was all like coming apart, like. That's cool. Sorry. That it's not, perfect, guys.
And Vancouver was like a completely kind of different dirt that we've never seen before.
I wouldn't want to ride it, but I like watching it.
I don't know, man.
I wouldn't ride any of it.
I'm stoked on the series, and I think if they can continue to, like, maybe add another round or two, that's another thing I want to get to because there's talk of them doing a round or two during Outdoor Nationals. Mm-hmm. That's something I do want to get to at some point. We'll have to do it a little bit later because we got to get Daxton on in a minute, and I want to get to a couple other things real quick. Last show, we announced a contest for some Cherubies hats, and it was just send an email, a Cherubies hat, and we'll pick a winner. So that winner is Jacob Kirschman.
Good job, Jacob.
TJ donated his hat because Austin Smith sent an email in, and it said like a Cherubies hat, but in the body of the email, he said also TJ's an idiot.
Yeah,
and I sent that to TJ because I thought it was great.
Yeah,
and TJ said, you know what, that guy can have my hat, which TJ didn't wear. He left it here. So 2 winners, Austin Smith and Jacob Kirschman. Congratulations. They
haters get hats.
Yeah, exactly. If you hate on TJ, we might just find stuff to give you. I mean, it might be like a used Alice in Chains Unplugged CD that's laying on my table over here.
I'll take that.
I usually have a piece of leftover sausage that rolls on the ground after eating pizza.
Yeah, you definitely, or a water bottle, like your half-empty water bottle. I'm sure that'll be there in 3 days.
Yeah.
The other thing I want to announce that we're going to do, there's a couple things we're going to do. We are going to do a show next week. Hopefully all 4 of us can be here for the final show of the year. And then we'll take a couple weeks off for Christmas and New Year's. We're going to do a Christmas Secret Santa on the show.
Yeah, it's going to be fun.
All right. So
only gag gifts only.
TJ's not here right now. I was thinking like,
what, doing this now?
What could be whatever you want. If you want to do a nice gift for whoever you get, that's fine. But I was thinking like it could be funny, like if I gave you a
I'm
drain
not giving
plug.
y'all something nice.
Well, okay. So TJ's not here, so I took.
He's already assigned one of us.
He's going to get one of us. We're going to draw, and if we draw our own names, we'll just all have to redraw until it works out.
We'll let him go.
Hopefully, huh?
I don't know why you did this now when we're rushed on time, but did you get yourself?
No.
Okay.
Okay, who you got? Or did you get yourself?
I did not.
Okay, so we all have we all have somebody different, and we'll unveil the guests or the gifts next week, right? Yep. Yes? Understood?
Yes.
Everybody gets that?
Sounds good.
The other thing we're going to do on the next show, and I want our listener involvement, we're going to do this through MotoXpod.com using the contact form. We're going to do predictions for 2026. A couple that I have, like of topics, are how many winners will we have in 2026? Who will be some first-time winners in 2026? Who do you think will be the biggest surprise? Who will be the biggest disappointment? Who will be the champs? We're going to do like early predictions next week. You guys can get involved by answering or actually sending us some more topics that could be predictions. And then we'll get everybody involved. We'll write down our answers and we'll save them until the end of Supercross and just see how they come out. You guys like it?
Yep. Sounds good
to me.
Okay. I'm going to get Daxton on the phone. While I'm doing that, there are a couple news. Actually, we're going to talk about eras if we get time too, with Travis Pastrana, Ken Roczen, and Carson Brown. Just briefly while I get Daxton on, you guys just watched it. Kind of talk about it. What do you guys thought while I get Daxton?
So Hubert doing what he did to the vet track was insane. Like there's a couple jumps on the first time I watched it, I was like, oh, this is a little jump out of the corner. It's not that big. It's like 140 feet.
Yeah. Well, for them, I mean, that's just that's a nap time for them. Yeah.
All right, we'll get back to eras. Yeah. We do have a first.
Glad you gave us 15 seconds to talk about that.
I told you. I just needed you guys to talk.
I know, but we might as well just be quiet.
To talk while I got Daxton on. Sorry,
okay.
man. First guest of the night is brought to you by Racetech. For over 40 years, Racetech has been supplying motorcycle industry with high-quality suspension components made right here in the USA. From modern to vintage, Racetech is your go-to source for suspension performance. Visit racetech.com. Find your local service center. I'll do a service center spotlight in a little bit. But tonight, Racetech brings us, this is a new one, man, Rockstar Husqvarna Factory Racing's Daxton Bennick. What's up, Daxton?
How's it going, boys? Good to be back on the podcast.
Yeah, it's good to have you on. You've been doing a lot of media these last couple of days, huh? How's the Feld Media thing been going for you?
Yeah, it was really cool. This was my first time ever doing it, so it was all kind of a new experience coming out here, doing the photo shoot yesterday with the team, and then obviously the Feld thing today. So I thought it was really, really cool, and I'm super happy I was a part of it this year.
Yeah, did you save any breaking news for us? Maybe keep it away from Lewis and Steve Mathis?
Yeah, dude, I kept my chin tucked, dude.
All right. So, yeah, what was the best question you were asked? Can you think of something that stood out?
There was actually a lot. One was, what was your favorite movie theater candy? I was like, wow, that's actually, like, who thought of that?
That sounds like something I would do when it's like non-moto, but okay, that's a good one. I like it. What was your answer?
I said, if you don't count popcorn, I'll have to go with the Nerds gummy clusters.
All right. That's a good one. All right. Any other questions stand out? What did Lewis ask anything good?
He had a couple, dude. I don't know. That one was hard. There's a lot of cameras on me, so it was a little, that one was hard.
Yeah. All right.
But yeah, he had some good ones.
All right. Well, I was hoping I could get some information that I could steal and make this podcast even better. But yeah, I'm excited. Let's go with right off the bat, the team switch, man. This is starting your fourth year. If you count coming in 22 after Loretta's or 22, right? Yeah. After Loretta's.
You're saying like go pro?
Yeah. So you went pro at the end of 22, correct?
No,
or 23.
I raced 4 or 5 outdoors in 23, yeah.
Yes,
then my first full season was 24, starting Supercross. That was my debut in Supercross.
Okay, so this is your third full season, but if we count when you actually went pro, fourth season, where you got your foot wet, but you switched teams after those 3 full years. Sometimes that can be really beneficial because it's good to have a new just a new outlook, a new environment. But then sometimes maybe it doesn't go so well. But when you were kind of shopping around, what was it about Rockstar that kind of drew you in? What was the highlight of that?
Really just the group, the group and the people that I'm surrounded by here was really what did it for me. They're really good. They're super helpful. And I feel like our personalities are good together. And of course the bike was, I didn't know what to expect, but I was super happy, honestly, the first time I rode it. And I definitely knew I made the right decision.
Okay. So give me some examples on why the bike made you so happy. Obviously going from aluminum frame to the steel frame, it feels a lot different. I really liked the 350 on the Austrian brands. I just love the comfortability on that bike. But what was it about the Husky that really, once you rode it, you're like, oh, this is the thing I like the best?
I mean, yeah, I would say the biggest thing for me was, there's obviously a lot of questions, right? Because they say, the Yamaha is the best bike. 250s, a lot of people say that. And so there was some questions I need to answer in my head. And I would say I've answered them. Like, the power is really, really good on this bike. And I would say the first thing that stood out to me was just the turning. The turning is really what I've been looking for, honestly. Of course, there's negatives and positives, but I would say the turning is really, really good on this bike. And it's probably its strongest part, I would say.
Okay. Yeah. That tracks for me.
Yeah.
Another big change for you is going to be more than likely the way the two different teams train. Star has a reputation for it's a battle. You're competing every day. Where I guess you're going to be at Alden's, I would assume, and he has a little bit different mentality on how you guys train. Have you already seen the difference in that and how it affects your body and how it affects you mentally? Yeah.
Honestly, though, nowadays the training side of things are, I would say, closer than you guys realize, probably.
Okay. All right.
There's obviously some differences, but it's pretty close, similar, I would say. But more just like at the track, the vibe and the atmosphere and the people that's definitely the biggest change for sure.
There's a lot less people too, I bet.
Yeah, a lot less people. So it definitely helps the suspension guys too, because they can really focus on your bike alone.
That makes sense.
No, it's good. Okay. Yeah.
No, going off of that with the change of personality and mindset of the team, do you feel at your years at Star that you were kind of running into that where it's because of that on the race day, you weren't getting the same version of yourself that you were getting at during the week, and you just didn't feel like maybe you could quite be yourself when it mattered the most? Do you feel like that was maybe part of the case when you were at Star?
Yeah, of course, a little bit. And some of that's self-sabotage, so we're all, kind of guilty of that. But
right.
I think it's really about learning. And obviously this is being my third year. So I've learned a lot, even from the first year. So each year I really believe will just be better and better.
That's good.
The Husky truck seems to be one of the more laid back ones in the pits. How excited are you to not have 1,000 people just standing around the Star
truck
all day?
Deegan?
Yeah.
Well, it was cool for him. There's a lot of people there.
Yeah,
that was exciting for sure.
You and Hayden are pretty good buddies too, right? You guys hung out a lot, so it wasn't.
Yeah, we're obviously grew up racing together, so I've known him for a long time. Yeah.
But yeah, you do have some great personalities under the Husky truck. Like, there's almost nobody better to visit with than Malcolm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Malcolm's sweet.
Yeah. Let me ask you this. I do feel like it's a little bit of a homecoming because you did spend some of your amateur career on KTM, Orange Brigade. Are there any of the same people involved? Like just in the background at all?
Yeah, the first one obviously Nate. Like, I really worked with Nate.
Yep.
My whole amateur career. So that feels pretty familiar coming back to work with Nate, and just his way of dissecting things is, I believe, really good. So that's really the main thing. Of course, there's a couple faces that are familiar. So it's like you said, it's a new team, yes, but also there's a lot of familiar faces, so it's cool.
Yeah, good. That brings some comfortability. Now, you talked a minute ago, you kind of said, you said there's been some self-sabotage. So I assume you mean you kind of get in your own head sometimes. Mentally, I've been at the track with you where you were not happy, right? And then that can kind of play into every week. You start doubting yourself. Maybe you start doubting the bike or decisions made or whatever, and that just trickles downhill. And it's really hard to get out of that, especially at a young age when maybe you don't have all the people or you just don't have the knowledge yet, the time to know how to deal with those things. Do you feel like you're more prepared mentally now after the last few years?
Yeah, for sure. I feel like over the last couple of years, I've learned that you can't get too low. You can't get too high. That's the biggest thing. And really, like, if something goes wrong, you just can't doubt your whole program when one thing goes wrong. You have to realize that you are still really good. And I think that's the big thing I've learned.
Who's helped you with that? I mean, at your age, maybe mom and dad still kind of hanging out, but like, who do you go to for that side, like the psychology side of it?
Well, I mean, really just the guys I'm around, like obviously I spent a lot of time at Star, and you had Coop there, which was really mentally strong. So he was obviously a big part of that. He's dialed there. So
yeah,
I would say really that, just seeing how he operates.
Okay. Yeah. Super smart. Yeah. Talking to the veterans. I like that.
Yeah. 2025
started off strong, man. Second in Tampa, as I recall, and then 2 concussions throughout the season. That's scary, right? There's a lot of talk about concussions and concussion protocol and staying safe, recovery for those. How do you feel right now? What was the recovery like for you? Was it just kind of chilling out? What'd you do? And then how do you feel now? Are there any side effects?
Yeah. So the first one was obviously the couple days after Tampa.
Yeah.
And I think it was that Tuesday, I believe. So that one was, maybe the more gnarly one in the concussion part of things, because I was knocked out for, a little bit of time there. So that one was tough. And I broke a couple bones in my face. So I kind of had to heal from that. But I had a really good recovery protocol there with that one. I used MTF. They have a really good, they have good tools there you can use. So I feel like I was back pretty quick. I took the right amount of time and came back when I was ready. And then the second one, when I got cross jumped, that one was more like a quick one. I was only out for literally a couple seconds, and I didn't have very many. I had honestly no symptoms from that one.
Okay.
Obviously my T6, I did that. So I really had to let that heal my back, but I did a lot of therapy still with the brain, because obviously I had one before that. So as I couldn't really do a whole lot with my back. So I really focused on the head thing, and I went to a place called Apex Brain Centers in Asheville, and they helped me out a lot.
Yeah, it's really interesting, the technology and the education that we're starting to get on concussions and what people are learning and how to, back when I was a kid, Daxton, like, you go out and get a concussion and play football and be like, just get back out there next week, you'll be fine. And
yeah.
They're a little smarter now than they were back then. And then the compression fracture, I really do feel like there's been a lot of neck and back injuries in the last couple years. And we're actually having Brady Sheren on, who's the CEO and founder or creator of the Atlas brace, here in a little while. Have you ever worn a neck brace? Have you ever thought about it?
I did, as a kid, when I was on 65s. That's, I don't know. That's a hard one for sure.
Yeah, a lot of guys don't like them. I mean, at your level, a lot of guys say it hinders their movement, and you just feel uncomfortable wearing them. But I'm just curious if you'd ever worn one in the past.
Yeah, I wore one on a 65, I believe, for a little bit, probably a year or two.
All right, Scott, you got one?
Go ahead.
Okay. No SMX in 23 or 24, even though you qualified. you had some health issues in 24. Are you past that? Do you feel like you figured those things out? Are you 100% healthy coming into 26?
Yeah. I figured those out. Really, my 25 run, I figured that's all gone. And we have like a legit, way to not have that happen again. So that was good. But yeah, I'm healthy right now. And I've been on the bike training now for a decent amount of time, so I feel good.
Okay. And you don't have to answer this if you don't want to. Obviously, it's private. But do you mind saying what the issues were? Was it eating stuff or stomach? Again, you don't have to tell us. That's fine.
Just digging a hole. Always wanting more at the practice track, and maybe that could be a bad thing because you're not really recovering. So that was really it.
Yeah, that makes sense. We hear that a lot from guys like, especially the older guys that are like, I learned after a few years that I'm doing too much, and then you can't recover. Again, when I was young, the football coaches, the coaches would be like, oh, you're being a sissy, you got to push through, but that's not true, right? Your body does get to a point where there's nothing left, and then you can't recover in time for the next race. So you have to be really smart about that. And sounds like, you're figuring that out.
I think that's what happened to AP this year a little bit.
Yeah. Well,
maybe
a lot of
started
guys,
it. Yeah. A lot. Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of guys think about like Dungy back in the day who was overtraining, and it's crazy what you guys put yourselves through literally 7 days a week.
Yeah.
Scotty?
Yeah, Dax, so when we start looking at the 2026 season, and now that you're kind of more established in the class, are you able to visualize yourself in the lead and think of that as more of the standard rather as more of like, oh crap, I'm in the lead? Is that something that you're already starting to kind of visualize and prepare yourself for?
I mean, yeah, of course. I know I can be there. So the issue for me is just getting there. Most of the time, just getting off the gate has been a little bit of a struggle for me. But new bike this year, so hopefully we're locked in there.
Yeah, and that really, dude, that's right. 90% of the battle is getting that start, but everybody's so damn good that it's thousandths of a second. It's just
tough.
The slightest hesitation, and somebody's got their elbow in front of you, and you're screwed. And then, unfortunately, people like us and the media or the fans are going, oh, that guy sucks, and it's so ridiculous the level that you guys have to be at all the time. What are your goals for 26? Is it stay healthy? Is it top 10? Or do you even know where your goals are yet?
Yeah, I think I've kind of been saying this to myself really the whole time is, of course, the number one goal is to stay healthy because I think that leads to bigger things and more opportunities. But, man, I really want to check off a win this year. I know I have the speed and the capability of doing it, so I really want to do that. And really my only other goal there is to be consistent, every week in, week out, be 1 to 5 every weekend, I think is really important, because a lot of, especially in the 250 class, because, some of those guys have really bad throwaway races. And I think if you can be consistent towards the end, you've got to be in a good place.
100%.
I know I've seen a lot of interviews, Dax, where they especially when you were on Star, they'd be asked, well, what guy does this? What guy's the goofiest? What guy's the funniest? And I feel like your name would be brought up a lot on that. Like that's always having a good time. Were you able to put that over into the Husky team as well? Like, are you getting along with those guys pretty much right off the bat? Are you still your goofy self?
Yeah, of course. But Malcolm kind of steals that from me now.
Yeah.
It's hard to beat him. So. Well, it's a good crew, AP and Malcolm at the practice track every day. It's pretty sick.
I bet that's fun. You gone fishing with them yet?
No, I haven't. I'm not a big, I'm not big on the fishing.
Me either, bro. Yeah. Me either.
It's just because you're not good at it, Dark Side.
Well,
how do you get good at fishing, dude? Throw a hook in.
There's way more to it.
I know.
Like the idea of fishing sounds fun, but then like 5 minutes out of sitting in that boat, I'm ready to go.
Dude, I'd rather go ski or I want to do something fun. Like I want to ski or wakeboard. I don't want to sit still.
I don't
like
sit,
that too, but I can sit in a boat and fish.
How about Casey and Ryder? Do you have much of a relationship with those guys in the past, or how are they? Yeah,
so I've obviously raced with Casey kind of my whole life. So it's cool. I see him every day, and it's cool. And then obviously being in California, I'm spend a little time around with Ryder. But, back in the amateur days, we always had the pit bike squad rolling. So
Sure. They're good kids, man. I've been a big fan of Ryder's as far as just personality, man, for a long time. And Casey seems cool. So, yeah, I think team-wise, as Scotty was kind of alluding to, is going to be a lot of fun at that truck. Let's see. I had a few other things. Oh, have you been keeping up with World Supercross at all or any of the off-season stuff? Paris?
Yeah. I have. I don't think I watched the Super Ruddy. I did not watch the Ruddy one.
Oh,
I did watch.
Yeah.
I did watch the Hayden, obviously on the 450. I think that was Argentina.
Yeah, there and then Australia too.
I think I watched 2 motos of Australia.
Okay.
And then so I've been keeping up with a fair amount. Yeah.
So I kind of wanted to just ask you if you had a chance to do some off-season races, do you think that would benefit you? Because I think gate drops is way more beneficial than just practicing. But I mean, new team, all that, you're probably not ready to do that. But would you have liked the opportunity if it was available?
Dude, yeah, I would be pumped to go visit another country. I'd be super cool. So I would love that for sure.
Do you know what coast you're racing yet? Probably not.
Yeah, I think the plan's probably be east, but
okay.
I'm also going to be ready for Anaheim if that's my calling. So.
Well, I'm excited about 26. Honestly, I'm really excited about World Supercross next week, and we're just talking about that. Dude, this series, if you haven't paid attention, totally, the 450 class, first through third, there's 1 point separating Jason Anderson, Joey Savacci, and Christian Craig at the final race.
Wow.
Dude, it's going to be sick. So I'm just ready for some racing. I think Arena Cross is the following weekend in Boise, and then we got a couple weekends off, and we're on to A1, man.
We basically don't have weekends without racing anymore.
Yeah, well, think about these guys, right? But I know you can't wait to get back to it. I'm stoked to see you get an opportunity to show your potential, because I think, like I said, you started off really strong in 25 with that second, and then the concussion just, once again, right, just every season so far, kind of something has happened to not give you that full opportunity. And I'm hoping 26 is that year, because, I want to see what you got.
Yeah, for sure. And I think the pieces are going to come together, so we're excited.
Well, looking forward to it, Daxton. I hope you, when you heading back to Florida?
I'm going back Saturday, so I'll spend Thursday, Friday here training, riding, utilizing the track here, and then back to the grind with Alden.
All right, man. Well, good luck. I'll be looking for you when the season starts. If you happen to be at A1, I'll try to come find you and say hi, man. But thanks for doing the show today.
Yeah, well, I really appreciate you guys having me on.
You got it, man. Take care, Daxton.
Thank you, guys.
Right, see ya. That's Daxton Bennick tonight, brought to you by Racetech. I want to do a Racetech Service Center highlight. Let's see here. If you're in Ohio, check out MRP Suspension. You'll find Chris Maynard from MRP Trackside nearly every weekend. He's the suspension tuner choice for Matt Burkeen. So again, if you don't know who your local service center is, racetech.com. You can find it. You can get your suspension serviced and cleaned up, checked out. Let's go back to, I'm totally blanking. The errors thing real quick.
Mm-hmm.
I got to
go back to that.
Go back to
what you were
saying, and then I got to answer a work thing. Sorry.
What was I saying?
I mean, you didn't get a chance. I was the only one that got to say anything.
Sorry.
I think that those video series are very cool. I like the concept of them. And we were talking before the show how it's crazy how Carson Brown can just literally ride anything, and how he can beat the best guys, and no matter what it is on something random.
Yeah,
and
he can do it for a lap. It's crazy what the level of fitness has gotten to.
Right.
To where you have to be in just absolute peak form to even think about doing it, especially outdoors.
Yeah, and look at Pastrana. Like, he barely held on. He couldn't even. He did a lap and he was done.
It was a minute and 20-second lap time, and he was 5 seconds slower. Which granted, he hasn't been racing or anything.
No,
but
he's doing rally cars.
Those era videos, maybe some of my favorite. Like, there's a lot of YouTube content now with riders and vlogs and different things going on, but the eras ones are probably the coolest, most exciting ones I've seen in a long, long time. having a guy like Kenny, who, and I don't know when that exactly was filmed, but just think about like if he had got hurt, right? And then, I mean, Carson dislocated his finger.
Yeah.
On the third race.
Yeah.
Or third
went back
lap
in.
or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, can you imagine if Kenny gets hurt doing that? But they're putting everything they have into it as far as they're scrubbing and they're having so much fun. And that's a really cool off the race content that I like to see.
How DB's that good on a stopwatch? We got it within .02.
I questioned that too,
Yeah.
but
Come
they
on,
had
bro.
a backup. They had somebody else doing it
Okay,
also.
but still, and he had the exact same number.
Why are they not using a transponder?
Oh yeah,
I guess it doesn't really matter, but like
you would have to set up all the way around the track. But if they did,
Don't you just have to have one loop?
You could do a laser at the finish line, like they do with like barrel racing and stuff. So when the horse crosses, it hits that laser. When they come back across, it stops.
Yeah,
the time.
we're trusting a couple of clicks here.
There has
like
to be
a,
like a
know your truth.
not a
Know
go.
your truth.
What's the Lit Pro,
Yeah.
right? If you have that takes this that starts the time from
I'm surprised
something.
Lit Pro hasn't reached out and tried to spawn.
Yeah, I do question how good.
when I was in high school, I lost a track race because of that.
Really?
Because like I saw myself beat the guy. Like I was like, I beat you, but then they're like, nope. He showed me the stopwatch and like, no, he beat you. I'm like, no, he didn't. Like I was in front of him. I saw it. Like it wasn't by much, but I beat him.
Yeah,
but like they go by the stopwatch.
They're really cool though. Just different. First of all, like you guys were talking about Carson Brown. I apologize. I was answering a text, but he is so good on so many diverse types of bikes. And we were talking about before the show, like how did he not get better results as a pro? But I guess it really, again, like it comes down to thousandths of a second, right?
Right.
And little things, but he's so good on all these old vintage bikes, and it's just entertaining. And I'm glad that Red Bull does these things. And that TP jumped in there and even though he kind of acted like he didn't want to or was worried about it, still threw down some sick laps. And
yeah, it was funny. He was like, we had a long talk with my wife last night,
which he said on poll too, right?
That I'm not going to make any bets. So what are we betting?
yeah.
And then Roxon was like, I'll bet you $1. Like really, and a dollar will make them go that hard.
I felt like more it should have been like, okay, if Travis had gotten within say the 3 seconds, then Kenny has to backflip something.
Oh, yeah.
That's the more kind of the bet I wanted. I don't want $1. I don't care about that.
I don't think Suzuki and Progressive would have been too happy about that.
I want more content out of the bet.
I think Pastrana's got a deal where like if you do a bet, it's $1. That's all you can do at his house. Yeah.
I also like that.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, I think so. Like a gentleman's bet type thing.
Oh, okay.
I like that he made DB and Carson do push-ups.
Yeah, I would say
I guess for saying one more. Like some of my other buddies have that. If you say mine about anything, like that's my. Or if they go, hey, whose bike is this? That's mine. You're not allowed to say mine.
Why?
I don't know. It's just like selfish type thing. It's just a goofy thing they do.
I mean, if I own it, it's my bike.
Yeah,
Like,
but you can say that whose bike is this? Oh, it belongs to me, and you're okay. But if you say the word mine,
that's
ridiculous.
It's just silly. It's just silly.
I definitely subscribe to the not one more. I say again.
Yeah,
I'm going to go again.
Yeah.
I don't say I'm going to go one more.
It's definitely bad luck, and I struggle with that this weekend because I kept going. I kept wanting to say I'm going to go out for one more moto, and I'd start to say
I'm going to go out again.
Yeah, but going back to we're bouncing all over the place tonight. The Yamaha YZ,
we're loose.
Garrett Rockley said the significance of the dollar is whoever wins, they got to sign it, and they like hang it up.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
That's kind of cool. Yeah, I could do that. I have been really enjoying this Yamaha. I'm going to write something about it after I get some more time on it and some more tracks. But much like I've said about the 350s in the past, this 250F, I'm so confident on it because I very much like those 350. It's not going to get away from me. If I make a mistake, I'm not going to whiskey and like launch myself into the stratosphere. I don't feel like. I mean, I guess it could happen, but.
Hey, I can see that for you.
Incredibly confident. I was telling you guys at our local track, 6 Feet Under, there's like these rollers that aren't really blitzable.
Yeah.
But they're a little bit worn down, so they're almost blitzable. But the last 4 are kind of far apart and peaked
You're
more than the other ones. So you blitz double. But this,
You're such a badass now.
yeah, I'm such a badass. I was like, you know
Yeah.
what? I'm just. I mean, I know you're trying to be a D right now, a D hole.
What?
But
I'm
I was
pumping you up,
blitzing
man.
them, and I don't think I could have done that on the 350.
What's like
or would have done, should say.
it's like why Miatas are so popular, because it's way more fun to drive a slower car
fast.
as fast as it can.
Yeah, because you can't
performs.
like.
So you can't.
You know how hard it
Yeah.
is to drive an
Okay.
Indy car or a Formula One car?
Yeah.
Like, it's impossible.
Yeah.
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 And this 250F has so much power, stock.
I'm not
I
saying
haven't
it's
done
slow or anything.
No, I'm
but
just. It's amazing to me. Some of the obstacles I'm doing, like out of the corner at that 6 feet under, that's a pretty big gap, and I'm just like, yeah, I feel like I could jump anything I want on that thing.
I can see
The suspension's good.
seeing your riding style. I can see how you would probably how you would excel on that. I personally, I like riding the 450 because I really like lugging a bike. I like to be real
Yeah.
I like being
low
lazy.
in the RPMs
That's
and just
how
kind
I have rode for the last few years.
yeah. But I feel like you kind of would get like you said, a little scared or timid of the power. I feel like you're going to be more aggressive on a 250F.
Oh, for sure I am. I didn't used to be scared of the 450 power. But
I don't know what it is. Maybe I have some kind of autism or something, but like riding like a 250F, like that's always pegged out. Like I hate it.
Yes.
I hate
I was like-
riding a bike that, or you see a kid coming by that's not shifting right.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, dude, it just
Dude.
it makes me want to scream.
For sure, mentally, I'm like, I'm going to blow this thing up. It
Yeah,
sounds
you're not.
wrong.
That's where I'm at.
It sounds
Yeah.
wrong, but
That's why I like riding the 450.
starting to kind of get used to
Yeah.
revving up. And trust me, I'm still lugging this thing. There's some sections on these tracks where I'm like, whoa,
Yeah.
whoa.
Yeah,
But
little
I'm
quad
figuring it
clutch.
out.
Yeah.
Niall asked about the 6 feet under. You're gonna tell that story? Why it's called that?
Oh yeah, so my buddy Steve Williamson, who has been on the show before, his dad owned the property, and his dad passed away. And Steve has always wanted to build a track on his dad's property, and he said, "Not until I'm dead and 6 feet under." So when his dad passed away, and Steve inherited the property, he built a track, and he called it 6 feet under, in
you go.
honor of his dad.
There
So
you
yeah,
go.
that's why it's called 6 feet under.
It's a fun track.
Yeah, it really is.
It's one of my favorite backyard
It's
private
a
tracks.
2-minute lap time
Yeah.
private track.
Yeah,
Yeah.
with fun jumps and
Yeah.
it's
It gives
cool.
and you get loamy stuff, you get ruts, you get hard pack
Yeah.
off camber, you get jumps, you get a little practice on everything.
100%. Again, guys, don't forget, we're going to do these predictions on the next show. So if you have any topics that you think would be a cool prediction, hit us up on MotoXpod.com, use that contact form, and you can give your answers. As I said, I'll give the ones I have right now, again, that I want to do. Predictions for 2026 Supercross. How many winners will we see? Who will be first-time winners? Who will be your biggest surprise? Who will be the biggest disappointment? And who will be the champs? We don't know East and West yet, so I would definitely go 450 champ and maybe just give a couple that you would think would be 250 champs. And you guys can get involved too. We'll give ours next week, and if you send in your entries, we'll read yours, obviously, next week. I think that'd be a lot of fun. Then at the end of the year, which you don't even have to, I guess you don't even have to turn them in next week because you have all year, basically.
Yeah, until the first. Yeah,
I mean, I'd rather you get if you want us to read yours at the end of the year, you got to get them in before A1.
Yep.
Once we tell you all the topics next week. Is that confusing?
No.
Okay, cool. Yeah, let's do expert emails.
Let's do it.
my prediction. Pain.
By the way, I haven't seen that hat before. That is a sweet X-Brand hat.
Yeah, dude. It's
like retro kind of. I like it a lot. I
I've
like the
had
color.
it in my container of all the X-Brand stuff I sell for like 2 years.
What?
I sold one of them. I had two, and it's just been in there to sell. And I was getting a pair of goggles out the other day for somebody, and I saw the hat, and I was like, you know what? I'm taking the hat.
That thing's bitching.
Yeah, I liked it, so I kept it. Yeah, it's very cool. I don't even know if they still sell these because it's like 2 years old.
Probably.
It's got, is
not.
it like it's like the foamy too, right? Like it's
Yeah.
kind of soft.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's cool. Yeah, you have to check out eksbrand.com to see if they have more. Because I've had this one for at least 2 years, maybe more, just in a container.
I'm not gonna lie. It took me a while to realize that it's like EKS, like X, like yeah.
What is it? Do you know why Arby's is called Arby's?
Nope.
You don't? You do too.
No, I don't think. I mean, I might after you say it, but
Do either of you know why the restaurant Arby's is called Arby's?
No roast beef.
Oh, roast-
Arby-
roast
okay.
beef. Yeah, that makes sense. I never knew that.
Wow. Okay. Cool.
Good old beef and cheddar, huh?
That could be a top 5, like top 5 things that you should have known but didn't know, or that you found out late in life.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like the arrow and the FedEx logo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, hang on. I have a list. Some upcoming top 5s. What do you guys think about these? Top 5 video games of all time.
Okay,
Oh, yeah.
that's a good one.
Top 5 tools you should have in your garage. We've done top 5 favorite tools, but just tools you should have.
Okay.
Top 5 inventions the world still needs, like a time machine. That's the first thing that came to my mind.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. This is what we should do next week. TJ has a good one that we're going to do soon, the top 5 sitcoms.
Yeah.
Next week, let's do, I'm glad I just thought of this or saw this, top 5 best guests of our show for the year.
Oh, yeah.
That way, we're doing this, we're giving our listeners a week. Same thing, MotoXpod show, MotoXpod.com contact form. What are the top 5 guests we've had all year?
Remember something?
Huh?
You're gonna make me have to remember something?
Well, you might just have to scroll back through the feed. But those, so that's what we're going to do next week. Top 5 best guests of 2025. All right, X Brand emails. See clear, ride fearless. With X Brand goggles, vision is your advantage. Engineered for clarity, comfort, and durability, X Brand goggles keeps your focus sharp through roost, rain, and ruts. I actually was riding in the rain Sunday. Trusted by champions, built for every rider, crystal clear optics, and all-day comfort with zero distractions. EKSbrand.com. Okay. Let's see here. We got about 4 or 5 of these. We got about 20 minutes before we get our next guest on. Boy, I hope I screenshot this like I thought I did. I didn't.
Boo.
Boo. I know I did, though. What the fuck? All right. Let me open this email up. Hang on. It's a janky show, man. You guys just hang tight.
You want us to talk about something for 15 seconds?
For 7 seconds.
Yeah.
Here it is. Okay. Oh, okay. So Phil Smeltzer, who emails every week, and I appreciate that, Phil. You might be our most dedicated emailer. This is about the USA Today article. I think this is the perfect chance for you, Big Lou, Keller, Steve, to collab and rebut this article and send him an article. I think this is a shot for you guys to get on TV even maybe. So he goes on, he wants us to rebut the article. You guys should write that USA Today guy a full article, and maybe he'll put you on TV. You got this, bro. You guys can do this. Keep up the good work as always. Thanks for the shout out on the pod. Hopefully my writing is getting a little better. So Phil, I appreciate that. I don't know about getting on TV, but we are going to talk about it at the end of the show, and we'll see if that gets any traction. I don't think Steve and Kellen and Lou are looking to collab with us.
No, probably
They're
not.
actually real journalists.
Yeah. Although
C-class media.
But I appreciate Phil's confidence in what
I thought at one point Lewis was going to edge me out and take my spot.
Pause.
he didn't want it. He would have. He just didn't want the spot.
Right.
So
right.
we were stuck with you.
Yeah, he's turning away a giant paycheck.
Yeah, man. He knows, but
Yeah.
he's getting bigger ones.
Yeah.
All right, this came from Hayden. Did it see? Oh, it's about World Supercross possibly having events during nationals.
Hayden
How do we
Deegan emailed
feel?
you?
Yes, Hayden Deegan emailed me and asked me what I thought about World Supercross possibly having an event on the same weekend as a pro national. I think that's a mistake.
I do too.
Absolutely.
I don't even like the fact that OzX and the Australian World Supercross were like back to back like that. I think it hurt attendance.
Yep.
Even if you're competing, quote unquote, series, work together at least by don't screw us as fans where we can't watch live necessarily, and maybe with the time zones it probably wouldn't be at the same time, but it definitely affects maybe riders that would go.
We see that on a local level too with local tracks.
Yeah, you got to
scheduling
pick, right?
races on top of each other.
It's like
It's the same all the way up to the top of the sport.
Clearly, there'd be no wild cards at that particular round, and I guess there's teams like if Pipes has a team for World Supercross, they just would either have different riders at outdoors or whatever. But I just don't like it. I don't know. I don't want these promoters battling, I guess.
yeah.
Sorry,
It's kind of like the old 80s cliche where the girl that was a 10 in Smithville, Iowa moves to LA and realizes that she's just a 7,
okay.
Like you don't want to go compete up against other 10s, or you're not. Yeah, it's like I'm not a 10.
I'm not sure that even the competition's really my issue with it. That I don't really. I was gonna say I don't care if it hurts the series, but I do care.
So okay,
I just want the promoters to, if we're gonna try to make the sport bigger, competing against each other, I don't know if that's going to help. Like work together. So, you guys are having a race this weekend? Cool. We'll have a race this off weekend or for us. And then that way, I don't know. I'd rather them work together instead of tearing each other down.
Yeah.
A rising tide raises all ships.
Yeah. I know I'm not explaining myself very well. I just don't like the overlapping.
Yeah, I don't think so either. Because like say, someone was like, hey, I'm going to pay for you to go cover let's say Washougal, or you can go do a WSX round. Which one are you choosing?
I'd go to Washougal.
Yeah, I mean, okay.
Probably, yeah. Again, I don't know if World Supercross is ever going to legitimately compete with Supercross or even Pro Nationals. But I think scheduling on the same weekend it feels dirty to me almost a little bit. Like I'm trying to take some of your spotlight away or whatever. And they've talked about it being, if there's availability for a stadium and they can make it happen. I don't know. I know I'm doing a terrible job of explaining my opinion. I just don't like it.
They've got I'll kind of push back on the venue thing. They've got all of the world to go to. Mm-hmm. There's a venue they can find.
Yeah, when is the
if they really want to, you know what I mean?
When is the cricket off season?
Yeah, exactly. They can find somewhere. They might not go to where they wanted to, but if they didn't want to put them on top of each other, they wouldn't.
I would rather World Supercross be after SMX, like they did this year. Mm-hmm. 6 rounds, 5 or 6 rounds really seems fine to me, and try to have a more consistent. I've kind of said that I don't know that I like the. I understand why they're doing the wild cards, why they're having Kenny, why they're having Eli to draw the attention, but I would rather focus more on the full championship riders like we are in these last 2 rounds with Jason. Like I'm legitimately excited about this series.
Well,
I don't care as much about having Eli for 2 races. Like I just don't care. It's kind of cool to see what he was doing on the new bike and blah, 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 but if it didn't mean anything.
If he wasn't on a new bike,
I enjoyed.
That's fine, and I'm sure a lot of people do. I'm just, for me,
watching him and Kenny battle these last couple of years in W6.
Yeah,
cool.
I did enjoy that part of it, but I was saying as far as a series for World Supercross, it took away from that for me because they weren't involved in the title. Like it was just like, I'm just going to show up for a race 2 and I'm gone. I want to see the guys in the title fight battle.
If it wasn't his first time on a new bike, nobody would really cared about him being there. I mean,
I don't know. I think they cared last year too.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I want World Supercross to be a good series. I don't know that it's ever going to be a stellar series.
Right.
But I want to see, if Jason Anderson, Joey Savacci, Christian Krager are the 3 elite guys in the World Supercross, I want to see those guys battling for the championship every round and kind of not have anybody else involved.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I want. It's probably not I'm probably in the minority.
Right.
But that's my opinion. So I also don't want to see them racing on a Saturday somewhere while Southwick's going on.
That's not going to work.
For me, it might work because the audience, the local audience there is going to be not going to give a shit about the national.
Yeah, but that's not where. I mean, is that where they're making the most money? They're probably making the most money off the TV pass, right?
Oh, that I don't know.
They're making more money off a TV pass.
People are going to watch it at some point later, maybe or whatever. So I don't know if that hurts. I'm not watching.
Do you think that the reason why that they're kind of pushing towards that is because logistically it kind of does make sense because most of their key guys like Anderson, Roxon, McElrath, and a lot of those guys don't really do a full outdoors season. The teams that are involved in it don't really do outdoors. So I guess maybe logistically it kind of makes sense. We're not technically competing with them because all of our key guys don't really do outdoors anyways, teams and riders.
That's true.
Well, with the difference in the points between Supercross and outdoors, you don't have to do all of them. You can still make the SMX playoffs without doing all the outdoors.
Yeah,
No,
that's a whole
outdoors is
different
what you
topic.
need to
They
do.
need to fix that.
Yeah, that's something else that needs to fix. That's a whole different topic.
Because there's more motos than outdoors.
I don't feel like I did a very good job of answering Hayden's question. But
He'll figure it out.
At the end of the day, I don't like it. I don't want them to do. I don't want a World Supercross the same weekend as a Pro National.
Yeah.
I don't think.
I did a terrible job explaining it. I feel like I've done a terrible job on the show so far altogether. Okay, cool.
Just like every other week.
Yeah. All right. So we're consistent.
Yeah.
Tyler says, "What do you want for Christmas?" Okay.
I want Christmas to be over is what I want
Yeah?
for Christmas. Yeah.
What is something you want for Christmas, Chase?
I don't know. Clothes.
Yeah.
I don't
It's
care
funny when you're a
anymore,
kid,
dude.
you hate
Yeah,
getting
dude,
clothes. When
I
you
would-
get older, you're like, I need
would-
a freaking pair of socks.
Yeah, I'd be so stoked over socks and underwear.
Yeah.
All right. What
some
about you,
golf
Scotty?
stuff.
What's something you want?
Yeah. A $60 set of golf balls every year is nice.
Yeah.
I will actually want one of those like rings that have like for podcasts where you can like so it's like basically like a selfie light thing.
A ring light?
Like a ring light stands up and it's got a thing to put your phone in.
Oh, I
So-
have one out in the shop. I can give you. I don't use it.
Okay, well wrap it up.
Merry
Maybe
Christmas. Hang on.
did you, no,
Hang
wait,
on.
who did
Let me
you-
see who I got for Secret Santa.
You really don't remember?
Got who?
We really don't remember.
Oh, I got Jamie. That guy sucks.
Yeah. Okay. Well, no. Anyways, I thought I kind of wanted to start doing some stuff like on my own. and I thought-
OnlyFans?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Tune in for that.
All right.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna- I'm
actually,
gonna-
Scotty goes broke.
I'll give you
Yeah.
mine. I bought it for like
I'll
shooting
show-
product.
I'll show you my receding hairline for $20.
Gross. Okay, so some things that I want that aren't super expensive. I want a good set of tire spoons, like Motion
Okay.
Pro tire spoons. I have the old school, like they're just like a flat bar with a curve at the end, you know. And I think most of the pro tire changer guys use like the spoons, the rounded ends.
Don't they have like a new thing that like
They've got a thing that you like.
it like ratchets itself?
Yeah, you like mount it on there, and it's got an arm, and it like pops it off.
Yeah, that'd be cool too.
I mean, I don't know.
I don't know what that
it
is.
kind of
It's
doesn't
like
it kind of
several
go around the rim like a can opener?
Yeah, it's almost like they do
like a tire machine
for
almost.
cars. Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's just like a.
Yeah, and you just like,
It's like a
you
metal
spin
arm.
it around and it just
But it's
slowly
like
seals it all the way around.
$400.
Oh yeah,
You
I
don't-
spent like an hour. I feel like putting this one tire on because it's hard, man.
I pay somebody.
Yeah,
I get so mad.
The guy at Swan does it for like $20.
Yep.
Oh, he
Worth
just pop, 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 pop,
every
pop,
Yeah, but
Worth everything.
I mean, I'm never at Swan.
Dude,
when
and
that dude's
then
there.
and then he's okay. Anyways, the
But how about the yellow Dunlop?
that
Somebody in the
that's
chat
the
said
part that blows my mind about the ISD guys. That like they have to stop and like change, and the girls too.
Yeah.
They have to stop after riding for an hour and change their tire in like 7 minutes.
I don't
and then
like
get
doing-
back on the bike.
I don't like doing it when I'm.
How
full
do
of
they
energy.
do that?
Yeah.
I would just be like, I'm riding it flat, bro.
Yeah. And
Oh,
another thing is like the fact that they went through a whole tire in an
Yeah.
hour.
Right.
Two things. That machine's called a Rabaconda. And somebody else said, three things. Somebody said get the long spoons if you're getting them.
Yeah.
And then somebody else.
Some
who was
leverage.
it? Raw said, I want a good pony pod for Christmas.
I want a good pony pod,
Yeah.
like a good show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Sorry.
bro. Yeah.
Fresh out,
This
man.
is the best you get.
Keep that on the wish list for next year.
Yeah, maybe in 26 we'll get some new hosts and we'll do better. They'll do better.
One hand shit another.
You said somebody said something about the yellow Dunlop sticker.
No.
Oh.
That Rabaconda machine.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. I also want tickets for Iron Maiden in San Antonio next September.
Our main's playing in San Antonio next September.
Yes, they are. And I want floor seats. I don't want to be.
Don't you have like a concert guy?
Yeah, I don't know if he has a connection with Iron Maiden yet, though. I haven't asked.
Yeah.
I'm kind of trying to wait and see if they're going to add a Dallas date.
Yeah.
But
I would assume.
the problem is the San Antonio seats are already starting to sell out. So I'm like, it's a year away.
If you get tickets for that, let me know. I'll go with you.
Well, I mean, if I go to that, I'm like staying down there, and Amber's going, and Hattie's going.
Well,
You
just
go
let me know if you get tickets because
Yeah.
I might actually go to that.
Yeah.
Same.
Okay, but that's something I definitely want. I'm trying to think. There was something else. Oh, this is a little more expensive, but I want concrete poured in front of my shop for a driveway.
Oh, there you go.
Just big enough to park the truck, so when I work on my truck, it's not in the grass.
Thank God. Yeah.
What were you going to say?
Never mind. I was going to ruin it. I was going to ruin the Secret Santa.
Oh, okay. Okay, let's see. We've got 8 minutes before our next guest. How do you feel? Derek wants to know, how do we feel about AI? Any thoughts on AI? Or we could save that because we still got to grill your ass off before.
I don't really like it for one, and then like two, it uses a shitload of water, like clean water.
Yeah,
to cool them.
It's
not great, and it's like
I don't like how it's abused.
I saw a stat that like said that I don't remember how much water it was like per day, that just from people saying thank you to the AI.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like,
what is the water? It just keeps it cool.
Yeah. They have to cool those.
And they're making like
data centers,
and they're doing it to make like a kitty cat making a McDonald's.
Yeah. Well, they have to be
like
it has to be clean water because the minerals will like rust all that shit out.
That's crazy. Yeah.
I thought that they figured that out or something.
You think?
No, I thought that was like fake news or
and
something.
like people wasting time doing these stupid fake videos. It's just so annoying.
Yeah.
So now it like you can abuse anything, right? Like anything, there's a good and there's a way to abuse it.
We love to abuse you.
Yeah, see, and I'm a good thing, and y'all just abuse it. Anyways, I use it for like actual like productive purposes. Like I do like we were out on the beach, for example, and like I saw like a type of seagull that I'd never seen before. Took a picture of it and searched it, and it was like, oh, it's from here, blah 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 blah, and like that was cool. I use it from work all the time, like when I'm counting inventory and stuff, and I have to convert like pounds to gallons, and like it counts like the viscosity and stuff. Like I can just be like, hey, convert.
How thick is my gravy?
Yeah, convert 5 pounds of pickles to gallons, and it'll like show me the whole equation and give me the answer. Like for that kind of stuff, it's great.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I don't think that we need to be making Elvis sing.
Yeah, exactly,
get low,
right.
You know, like
yeah,
like to the window, like Elvis singing to the window, to the walls.
TJ really liking like AI remixes is like the most TJ thing.
Another thing that it's annoying to it is now I can't watch. I watch a video and I don't know if it actually happened or if it didn't.
It's ridiculous.
Sometimes you can like really tell. I'm like, well, at least they didn't make it too.
No, sometimes
good.
you're like.
But sometimes you see stuff, you're like...
Well, if they make it, like, grainier than it should be, it's to, like, cover up the mess up. So, like, if you see anything grainy, it's probably AI.
It's so funny because it gets old. My dad was telling me about, like, I can't remember what video, what it was, but he was telling me, he's like, I saw this video that day, and this and this and this. I'm like, Dad, that was AI. Like, that didn't happen.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to burst your bubble, man, but that did not happen.
I'm not a fan, and I've said on here before, we have a local IT company called Skynet. And like I'm telling you, Terminator came out in whatever, 87 or 86, and we should have learned.
Yeah.
And we haven't. We didn't, and we're doomed. Thank God that I'm towards the end of my life. Because I was talking about that with the lady at work today. And I'm like, honestly, I don't even care that much. I'm just going to sit back. Whatever happens, happens. I don't have that many years left anyway.
Hopefully,
just going to ride it out.
Hopefully, it's sooner rather than later. If that's what's
not to go too far down rabbit holes, but have you seen where they like ask AI, it's like its purpose and stuff, and like they start asking like, are you controlled by this?
Yeah,
and it's like they won't let it say yes or no, so it's like say apple for yes or banana for no, and like they start asking it some. It's a rabbit hole to go down for sure.
All right, grill your ass off. Bring the heat.
Somebody said AI tricked Ouija's mom out of money.
Do you love to grill and cook? Grill Your Ass Off is a veteran-owned seasoning company that manufactures some of the best flavors this great country has ever known. Every Grill Your Ass Off item is made in Texas with pride. Each product sold proudly supports a true nonprofit organization or event. Whether grilling up some chicken breast, baking pork chops, or boiling shrimp, Grill Your Ass Off has seasoning for the occasion. Visit grillyourassoff.com and use that promo code DARKSIDE, MX3. It's all caps. Save 20%. You will not be disappointed. I've been using the Crispy's Mango Habanero on almost everything. I put it on my chicken. I put it on my French fries. I put it on my eggs. Sometimes I do the sergeant, platoon sergeant. Salt, pepper, and garlic on my eggs, but it's so good.
I used I can't even remember which one it was, but I used some of it on my turkey for Thanksgiving.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Let me text John and tell him it's gonna be about 10 more minutes.
I think it was whatever the chicken seasoning one is.
That's Willie Pete's.
I think it was. Well, I think I did use a little bit of that.
Yeah, it's just so good. I take it with me in a lot of places, and I've got little containers. I'll dump some in and take it to work with me, so I have it for whatever. Even if I just like go buy French, if I go through McDonald's and I get fries, I'll dump some of that. One of the different types of seasoning on the fries.
I thought you like to taste your. You don't like a bunch of other stuff. You just want to taste your food.
Yeah, seasoning's different.
Yeah, it's different.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm the same way.
Okay.
I don't. Yeah, that's different. Shut up, man. Okay. Do either of you have a grill? Bring the heat. Grill your ass off. Bring the heat.
I mean, kinda. Thieves.
Thieves.
Yeah, I left.
That's fair.
I set one of my clubs down at the golf course Monday.
Yeah.
And realized yesterday it was no longer in my bag and nobody turned it in. And it was like a cheap wedge, and I'm left-handed. Nobody's left-handed, so like.
Yeah, really.
I was really disappointed. I was really disappointed when I got home and realized I couldn't use it.
What?
When I stole your club.
Oh. Yeah.
Good one.
It's a dumb joke. Terrible.
Man.
Stop acting like an idiot. You're the idiot. Don't be an idiot. Changed my life.
I don't know why you're wasting time in motor journalism. You need to be doing stand-up.
Anyway, Chase.
I wasn't that mad about it.
Do you have one?
You go ahead.
All right. So mine, and I thought I had told this on the show, but I guess we haven't done a show since this. A couple weeks ago, Amber hits me up on like Friday night, and her parents have a pretty big property, and there's like a pond down at the bottom. She's like, hey, let's have like a little romantic night. Let's come out here and watch the sunset. We'll back up to the pond and watch the sunset. I'm like, yeah, cool. So I go and I get her, and we pull down, and the sun, it's getting a little dark, and I go to pull into the field up against the pond, and it had rained the night before, and I'm like, it might be muddy. I don't know if this is a good idea. And I started hearing like gravel, and it sounded like spinning. And then I heard this. I was like, oh shit, I think I'm about to be stuck. So I go to pull forward, and I hear like something is under the truck. At first I thought it was just mud. And then I realized, nope, I just ran over something. So I get up onto the road, I get out, and there's about an 8-inch gash in my plastic fuel cell of my Tundra. There was a T-post buried in the grass that I caught, and it popped up and went through the fuel cell. And I'm like, shit, like we got to get up to your parents' house, because I had just filled the tank up. It's a 26-gallon tank, just dumping fuel.
Yeah.
So like, let's get it up there, because I'm about to be out of gas. I need somewhere to work on it once we get it drained. So I pulled about 50 feet from her dad's shop and just dumped 26 gallons of gas on the ground.
Jesus.
And I started Googling, like, all right, how much is a tank? Well, a new tank from Toyota is about $1,500.
Yeah.
Don't want to do that. I found one at not a wholesale, like a website that grabs parts from all these other websites. What'd you say?
Like pick and pull.
Yeah, but it's like a website, and
they've already pick and pulled them.
They pull parts from other websites that have for sale, and it was like $600. Like, shit, whatever, man. $600 is better than $1,500. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to call the company that they pulled it from. I called them. They're like, yeah, $95 is what we have it for. It's like, I'll take it. $300 shipping, whatever. Still got it for $400. Thing gets here a week later. I go to work on it. I pull my stock fuel pump out, and I had bought a new one, but I bought the one for flex fuel on accident, so it wasn't right.
Right.
So I was like, well, crap, I'll just use my stock one. There's nothing wrong with it. Won't fit. It's the fuel tank is the exact same part number. Same part number stamped on the Toyota tank. Mm-hmm. Measure it. It's about a 1/2 inch shallower. That might just be, who knows, from it the way it sat for a while, but you can't like pull it out. It's thick plastic. It's not, the pump is not going to fit.
Right.
And I'm just losing my mind a little bit. Amber's dad's there trying to help me, and he's an older guy, and you know, he's hard headed. He's wanting to have his hands and do everything. And I'm like, just move out of my way. And I spent like 2 hours. We spent like 2 hours trying to get this fuel pump to fit. Then I was like, screw it. I'll just use the flex fuel pump. Maybe it'll work. I plugged it in. It actually pumped. I don't know what the third port is for.
Yeah.
Like, screw it. I'm just not going to hook it up. Teaser's like, yeah, it'll be fine. So I call Toyota and like, no, it won't be fine. Well, I'm going to try it anyway. And I'm just mad, right? It's like hours into this thing. I go to put the fuel, the feed line and the return line on. Well, one of the lines doesn't even connect. It's because it's completely different. It just will not work. I've got 3 hours into this at this point, and I have literally done nothing, gotten nowhere. I'm like, I don't know what to do. I can't afford another tank. I can't send this tank back because literally they'd make me pay for shipping. It was $300 to ship it, and it was only a $100 tank.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, I'm at a loss. I go to Toyota, the part number on my stock tank and the tank I got, which is the same part number, they don't even have in their system. We don't have that. That's not the part number we show for your truck. I'm just like,
that's what happens when you try to save the $1,000.
I guess. And I was been very frustrated. I haven't had my truck for going on a week and a half. The new fuel pump came in today, but it showed it wasn't gonna be here till Monday. So I was like, that's another few days. Thankfully, our friend Michael Gades loaned me one of his. He has an old 96 Ford F-150. He's like, yeah, take it. Yesterday, coming home from work, the brakes went out in it when I was driving home.
You didn't run into anything?
No, when I say went out, they just started grinding, like they're wore out.
Oh, yeah.
So I was like, well, I'm going to park that. I don't have that now.
Yeah.
So my vehicle situation has been a nightmare for a couple weeks. This fuel pump that came in today, I measured it, though. It is a full inch shorter than my stock one, so it will fit.
Yeah, hopefully. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, exactly.
Allegedly.
Mathematically,
Theoretically.
it should fit. It should go back together in like an hour.
Remember that when you're tossing wrenches in the side of the wall.
Yes, but it has been suck town trying to get. What the hell was that noise?
I think he was just taking a breath.
Okay. Anyway, it sucked. I was so mad last Friday night, but I wanted to yell at Amber's dad, but I didn't because he was helping me.
Yeah.
But I was just in a bad mood. Nothing worked. And I wanted to try to see if I could make the pump fit, but he would not get out of the way. And I was just losing my mind.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
So I'm not really bringing the heat, but I was ready to bring the heat Friday night. I was ready to.
Yeah.
I called her on the way home and I was just like, I am so angry right now. And she's like, well, just calm down. And
yeah.
She got me calm before I got home, but whoo. And I was a little bit freaked out. Like, what am I going to do? I'm stuck with a tank that won't fit. I don't know that I can fix my old tank. It'd take a lot of plastic to weld that up. I just literally, like, what if the new fuel pump comes in and it's exactly the same size as the stock one because it's supposed to take its place? It's not going to fit. I may never get my truck fixed, ever. It may just be broke down. That's what was going through my mind.
It is like, I go through the same thing. Like I went through the same thing when we got that part when my motor for
your KTM.
Yeah, it's like all right, like this one cost like $1,600. Yeah. All right, well, I don't want to do that.
Yeah,
he's like you go down that rabbit hole of like, oh well, this one's only $100, and then you realize that you get what you paid for, and
but
then
it's
like
the same part number.
I know, but man,
different?
that's what happens. That's what happens when you try to save a buck. You're gonna get screwed.
There's something else I was about to say about it, and I can't think of what it was. But yeah, it sucks. I think I'm gonna try to get back together tomorrow night, and maybe I'll be good. But it's frustrating. Like, oh, I know what I was gonna say. So TJ, the reason I don't know if it was the return line or the fuel line wouldn't fit is the nipple that it fits on was taller than the stock one for the on the flex fuel pump. Mm-hmm. And he's like, well, it's just plastic. He's like, well, just cut it off. Cut like that little bit off and it'll fit. And it would have. But I'm like, it's a 2018 Tundra. I don't want to jerry rig my 2018 Tundra. Like, I don't want to grind down. Are you okay, Chase?
Yeah, I got a migraine.
Okay. I don't want to grind this down. I don't want to JB weld my fuel tank. It's a nice truck. Like, I want it to be right. Anyway.
Yeah.
That's what I got.
I hear you. Yeah, that's yeah. I go down rabbit holes like that all the time of trying to fix stuff at the store that this doesn't fit, this doesn't work right, and like theoretically I could do this, but then yeah. Happens all the time.
Yeah. And I'm not the best mechanic on the planet, right? So like I'm just trying to figure these things out. I don't have all the tools I need. Anyway, that was my Bring the Heat. We've got our next guest of the night on. He's going to be brought to you tonight by Guts Racing. Grip, control, and confidence. Elevate your ride with Guts Racing seat covers. Trusted by top pros and everyday riders alike. Designed for maximum traction and durability. Guts seat covers keep you locked in when the track gets rough and the stakes get high. Visit gutsracing.com and let them know the MotoXpod sent you. Tonight, Gus Racing brings us the owner of WUSA and W Lab, Mr. John Anderson. What's going on, John?
Darkside, how are you, my friend?
We're doing good. We're a little rusty. We've had a couple of weeks off, and we're a little rusty, but we're doing okay. I think our listeners might be still listening. Maybe. How are you?
I'm good, man. So you're getting back into the groove, right? Well, it's perfect timing. Our season's getting ready to start, so you might as well, blow up cobwebs and get back in form, right?
Yeah, that's what we're trying to do. We took a couple of weeks off. We're doing 2 back-to-back. Then we're taking Christmas and New Year's off, and then it's full throttle ahead in 26. But So, John, right off the bat, I mentioned owner of WUSA. It's been a while since we've had you on. We probably have some new listeners. Before we get into the current stuff, give us a little bit of the background of WUSA, how it came to be with you and your wife, Kristen.
Yeah, sure. Well, basically, my wife and I both, Kristen, my wife, we both came from a company called White Brothers. A lot of your new listeners might not know who they are, but certainly many might or do. And so that was our background. We both, worked there for quite some time. Her father actually owned it. And Tom White, late Tom White, he actually gave me my first industry job. And I'm going to date myself, Darkside, but 41 years ago, man. So it's been a minute, right? So that's how long I've been doing this stuff. And my wife and I met there, and we have 2 great kids, and I spent 25 plus years there. And then we had an opportunity to start our own business. Things just kind of fell into place, and we did it. And I was just talking to Kristen about the other day. I think May will be 15 years ago that we started W. And so, I had experience in the wheel business just from, we ran the Talon hubs. A lot of folks know that hub anyway. And we ran those on a race team at White Brothers that I used to manage. And so we were familiar with the product. And anyway, they were looking for a new importer, and they gave us an opportunity, and we took it and ran with it. And so 15 years later, here we are, and we've got a great team at W, and my wife and I are still there every day. And it's been quite a ride, man. Now our son works at the shop, and he's kind of helping me a lot with some race team stuff and, rider support and whatnot. So, that's kind of the W in a nutshell.
Yeah, it's really impressive that you built that into what I consider, at least I believe, to be the premier moto wheel building company in the world, supporting tons of teams. And for right off the bat, I guess, who are you supporting still in 26? I believe still Rockstar Husqvarna's on the list, but you support a ton of teams, a ton of privateers.
Yeah, we do. And look, I mean, we're very fortunate to work with a lot of great partners, and a lot of them we've been with for many, many, many years. And you mentioned Rockstar. They've been a great partner, and that relationship goes back to the very beginning of that team with a program called the Canada Kawasaki team. That was a pet food company way, way back. And, as you know, that went into, I think the next was Suzuki they were at, and then they did KTM for a short stint, and then they ended up on the Husky program as it is today. So that's one of our premier programs. HEP Suzuki is another one. Club MX, AEO Power Sports, or AEO KTM. We work with the Star Racing Yamaha guys. Up until last year, we, as you know, the team, kind of stepped away, but we were doing the Rockstar Gas program. Mm-hmm. And we've got a new program that's going to be coming out here pretty soon. That's pretty exciting. It actually just kind of came together within the last 10 days. So we always try and gear up for the start of the season, try and be prepared and ready and have everybody's stuff done. But it happens every year, and I'm not complaining, but, just last minute stuff and teams getting the budget or saying, okay, because it's not like, for the record, it's not like we just go out and buy everybody, right? Yeah. And just give everybody free product. Yes, some partners get some product, but the majority of them, quite honestly, or all of them, they buy more than what they get for free, right?
Yeah.
So we're very, very fortunate to again have great partners, and not just on the professional side with the teams, or I should say, the privateers, the Scott Meshies, and the next level guys and Logan Carnow and John Short. And I don't know, we do a lot in arena cross and shoot Darkside. You kind of know our story, but we do stuff in the amateur world and adventure stuff and
vintage.
Heck, we're even working with a bunch of top mountain bike guys now that just cross train on dirt bikes. So it's makes the job kind of a lot of fun, right?
Yeah, and for a lot of our listeners and the weekend warriors, maybe they think, oh man, I'd like to have a nice new set of wheels or an extra set of wheels to have a scoop and a standard tire, and they think, well, they're really, I can't afford that. But you guys have some lines that are more economically friendly. Like you don't have to go spend $2,000 on a set of wheels. Like you guys have a lot of the wheels you sent me are the DID Dirt Star with the kite hubs, but you have a lot of different products for some different budgets.
We do. And here's the thing, just from the bottom, look, and you said it perfectly, like not everybody wants to spend the money, that much money, or did they really need that, right? They're just guys that go out and have fun. They might not even race. They might just go trail ride. So I don't think that a lot of people know this, but we just sell rims and spoke kits for the stock hubs. They can build them themselves if they know how to do it, or they can send us their hubs to us and we'll build them. But we have wheel sets start, I think the Edge is $849. That's for a set. It's a W/XL rim, the Edge hub. That's kind of an entry level.
Yeah.
And then, look, we do so much custom stuff. Like nowadays you can get purple, green, magnesium, silver, red, blue, orange, pink rims, because we do a lot of custom anodizing as well. You can do colored nipples and really make it, custom for you, right? So, a lot of our race team stuff, in fact, what our race teams run is what we sell. So if you want what, Barsha or Club MX guys or Kenny Roxon runs, you can call us and we can sell it to you. So, I was
looking at the website, WUSA.com, yesterday, actually. I didn't realize how cool your wheel builder software is. Like, guys, you could go in there and put your bike in there. Photo of your bike pops up. You pick red spokes, green hub, whatever. And it shows what it's going to look like on your bike.
That's awesome.
That was pretty cool. And it was really real. I don't know how the hell you do that. It almost is like you had to build every color because it looks real. It looks like that is a real build, and it kind of shows you what the finished product's going to look like. Very cool software.
Yeah. Well, thank you for that. And look, that's way above my pay grade, right? I have no idea how. I could barely use my computer as it is, let alone any graphic stuff, right? So, it's just a nice feature, and it can show people exactly what they look like, right? Because a lot of people nowadays, they'll reach out and get custom graphics made. And you'd be surprised, Darkside. I go through the production room and I see a wheel set and I'm like, man, that'll look good on a Yamaha. And it's for Suzuki, right? So you never know what the colors are. We do so many variations, and really we try and make it so people can make it their own and just make it custom for them, right? So it is a real popular feature for sure. And it's neat when people will send us an order form or for a quote and say, hey, can you do this? And we're like, if it's on the website, we can do it. And sometimes even if it's not on the website, we can do that too. Right. So
nice.
It just reach out to us and we'll tell you if we can do it and try and make it happen for them.
John, is there anything y'all developed that you maybe wanted to sell to the public, but for whatever reason you couldn't, be it price or just it wasn't feasible?
Something that's funny you asked that. When we first started many years ago, there was a company in Europe that made carbon fiber rims. Right. And that's pretty cool, right? Everybody loves, carbon fiber, right? It's sexy. It's really cool looking. And we looked into it, but as quick as that came out, it kind of was squished. And the reason for that, in the AMA rule book, it's illegal to have that. I think that's because carbon's a fiber, and they were afraid if it was to break, the wheel broke or there was an accident or something like that, the carbon could cut someone or basically stab them, right?
Yeah.
So that was something that was kind of cool. I don't know. That's a great question. Well, you know what? I will say one. So many years ago, we had been contacted about selling titanium spokes, and,
I was just
and
about to
everybody's
ask that,
looking
too.
to cut. Yeah, everybody's looking to cut weight, and especially rotating mass and unsprung weight and all that. And we found a company that did it. We did some testing, and for quite some time actually, and it went pretty well. The downside was it's very expensive. And the other thing that was a little tricky is that you had to buy so many of them. It's quite a gamble, right? And I did approach some different teams at the time. Geico Honda was around. I approached them, and they were interested. And I was trying to get enough to where we could make the minimum. And it cost was so much that I just couldn't get enough takers on it, right? So that was something that would have been pretty cool. Trying to think. I think that's honestly, man, I think that's kind of it. You never know what the future holds, right? But yeah, so that's about the best answer I can give you on that.
I can tell you what I feel like didn't work, and I don't think it was your wheels, but a few years ago, I don't remember what Yamaha team had those multicolored wheels.
So they just did some purple and black ones for April.
Really?
Yeah.
I
don't like it either because it looks dirty. But like
my eyes hurt.
Yeah, that's not for
me
me.
dizzy.
But then, like
she's
you
got a
said,
sweet looking bike. Like it looks good when it's sitting still, but like it just looks like the rim's dirty when you get moving.
Yeah. Hey, it's so funny you just said that. I know what you're talking about. And what's the gal? What's the girl's name?
April Prowler.
Listen, yes. And it's funny you say that. I met that girl, her and her father a year ago at the vet race. And she came up, and I got to tell you, man, it was the highlight of the weekend. And I'll tell you why, because she came up and she said, hey, I'm checking out the wheels, and it was pretty heavy. And what I mean is she was so excited that she could come out and race Glen Helen with her father.
Yeah.
And she almost got emotional. It almost kind of choked me up too. Yeah. Right. And she was the nicest young girl, and that really made my day. And I remember she reached out. I think she went through Honda of Houston, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
Through my buddy Sean Martin over there.
Yep.
And I remember she wanted that, and we did it. It's kind of that split color, right? Where half the rim was black and half the color was purple.
That's it.
We've since done a couple like that. That's a little tricky because we Cerakoted it because she wanted like a straight line, and I was a little nervous about it. But we were talking about like, hey, if you don't see it on the site, just ask us and we can do it. That's not on our website, and that was I won't say a challenge, but there was a personal side to it. And when she had reached out, or when Sean reached out and it was for her, I go, man, we got to try and make this happen for her. She's such a sweet girl, cool. And we did it, and I think she was pretty excited about it. And so that was kind of neat.
She was definitely stoked on him. It's actually Patterson. I said the wrong last name, but yeah, they do. She just started racing maybe 2.5 years ago. Like she rode a little bit when she was young, and then her dad got her back into it. And like they're probably the coolest people I've met in the sport.
Nice.
They'll give you the shirt off your back. Like they're some awesome people.
Yeah. She was really a sweet girl, and she was just stoked to be there. She was, I think, for a lot of folks in Darkside, you've raced it before. And, Glen Helen's, as we all know, it's not on the national circuit anymore, but people still, it's a unique place, and it's got certain things about it that no other tracks in the world have, right? So, and it's a bucket list place for a once-a-year vet race.
Yep.
Yeah, for sure. So it was great that she could come out, for sure.
Hey, John, when it comes to you guys' rims, you mentioned that you have the starting ones, and obviously the stuff that you guys do for teams are probably a lot more extravagant. What is it like fighting the line between, obviously Hub is the lighter weight, the more performance you get out of them, but then those guys are putting a lot of stress on the wheel, and they have to be structurally sound for them not to break or warp or anything like that. What is the kind of give and take on that, and at what level do riders really even need that? Like being a vet guy or a younger kid just getting into this sport, you see the parents, the moto parents, like, oh well, he has to have the $3,000 rim. Like, no, he probably doesn't. Like how do y'all kind of blend that all into your product?
Well, for W, I mean, look, the rims that we offer are really the offerings are quite small, and it's either DID or Excel. In our opinion, and really the industry's opinion, based off what you see on motorcycles on the production line or in the paddock, those are the two most popular rims, right? And that's what we sell. They're Japanese, as we know, a Japanese-made rim. Are there different levels to each manufacturer? Yes, they have a high end and maybe a lower end. I'll tell you a funny one, though, in the case of like Club MX, right? They're sponsored by Excel. We do the hubs. We build them. They're a great partner. They opt to run the cheaper rim. And I don't want it to sound like they cut corners, but they run what they call the Takasago rim, right? Flexes a little bit more as opposed to the A60. Now, the A60 is a great rim. It's their strongest offering Excel makes. But for them, they choose the other one, right? So we do our best. Look, what I'm trying to say is we do our best to try and make sure that if the customer calls or sends an email and says, I want this or this, we give them the options. But look, in some cases, if a guy's a big dude, a big guy, and he says, hey man, I hammer stuff, then we're going to try and push him towards the stronger rim, right? So, we do try and talk to the customers a little bit. Do we get to talk to them all? No, because we have a really strong dealer network. So it's the parts guys, right? Or the parts managers, the store owners, whatever. And we try and, give them that information also. Plus we put it on the website. I would say, if you walk in Dark Side, you've been through the paddock many, many times. You've interviewed a lot of people, a lot of teams, a lot of crew chiefs. Just look at what they run and that kind of gives you an idea. I know that's at the higher level of racing. Yeah. But really, to upgrade to the better, higher quality rim, it's really not as much as you might think. I think it's $150 more if you want to get the more expensive rim. And then two, if you go, well, shoot, man, if Jet Lawrence runs that or Barsha runs that or whomever, or Axel Hodges or Twitch or anything, well, if you go, man, I want what those guys run. Look what they're doing. Well, we can sell it to you.
Yeah. If I get that rim, I'll be as fast as Jet. Yeah.
That's what it's
part of the program. A lot of people would buy a lot of them. Right? So, that's a bit of a freak of nature right there, boy. But, it's fun to watch for sure. So,
John Anderson tonight, brought to you by Guts Racing. You and Christian have a new endeavor, a new business going on, W Labs. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so this is something that kind of just, I'm not going to say fell into our lap, but our daughter was working at a company called Team Swollen. They were notorious for, well-known in doing, shirts and apparel and banners and stickers and all kinds of stuff. And one of the owners, the late Todd Peterson, he sadly passed away after a 3-year battle with cancer. And the family decided, rather quickly after he was laid to rest that they didn't want to do it anymore. So the whole staff, they basically dismissed everybody and closed the doors. So his partner, Charles, who's an amazing designer, he had battled a little bit of health issues and whatnot and had to get recovered from that. It all stemmed from that closing of Team Swollen. And my wife and I just talked about it, and Todd had talked to us a little bit about it, like, hey, you guys should do something with this. Cause I think he kind of knew, his battle with cancer probably didn't have a positive ending. So we talked about it. It's like, man, do we want to do this? We thought, oh, maybe this could be something our daughter would really be into. So we just bit the bullet, man. And we basically, the staff they laid off, we hired them all and purchased some equipment. Look, Darkside and all the guys in studio there. I mean, am I an expert at it? No, but I will say the folks that do our W Lab, they are the experts. Right? It's kind of like they're not experts in wheels, but they know exactly what they're doing, and they do a great job with it. And it's cool. All of the existing customers that they had, and we've added on quite a few new ones through our connections in the industry, and I'm really proud. We're now doing stuff for 6D and a Turbis and Ronnie Mac and Swap Moto and I think we're going to start doing your I don't want to say nemesis, Dark Side, but Mathis over at Pulp. I think we might doing some stuff for him.
He doesn't need anything else.
Never heard of him.
Yeah,
He's got enough.
so it's cool. So we're doing, but we don't just. So we got a really cool contract with the distributor for Pepsi Cola. We do a lot of construction companies and coffee shops and all that. And I will throw this in. I appreciate you letting me chat a minute about it, guys. But any of your listeners or even an idea I came up with because we don't have minimums, any riders out there, pro guys are trying to afford to go racing, hey, give us a call, send us an email, direct message, whatever. And if they want to send us a logo or a picture, we can convert that into like an animation and print shirts for them, and they can sell them on their social media. And like I said, we don't have any minimums. So that'd be a way for them to generate some income to afford to go racing, because we all know it's very expensive to do that, right?
Yeah, that no minimums. That's going to probably draw a lot of people in because most places do have like a 500 shirt minimum or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's been a lot of fun and but it's important that I mention this because one of the concerns I had, and I told Kristen, was like, hey, look, I mean, this is awesome. It's fun and all, but the only thing, the W Lab is in our building. All right. And Dark's in there. The only thing it shares with W Wheels is part of our warehouse and the shipping department. So it's not like, the wheel guys, the production guys that are building wheels, then and go print shirts.
Yeah.
We very much keep it separate. My focus is all on the wheels. I know my wife's really been getting hands-on the W Lab stuff. I think she really likes it, and it's a lot of fun and all. But I just want to make that point that it's not taking away any focus that we have on wheels, our teams, our customers, our dealers, or anything like that. Right. So it's been a nice addition. I think it's been a little bit more work than we thought, but things are starting to smooth out, and it's kind of running itself. Right. So it's been pretty cool. It's been pretty cool.
I'm excited for you guys. You guys, I mean, look, I think you and Kristen are an awesome family, and I've enjoyed your friendship for years, man. You've been good to us. So I think it's a cool endeavor. And I think once the name gets out there, people are you're going to be selling a lot of shirts, because I think a lot of the industry is going to want to use you guys for that. So WLab.com. Get some shirts made. We need to get some more shirts made.
I'm probably going to
hit
that up too.
Yeah. Cause for 710.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hit them up. Yeah. John, before we let you go, the state of our sport right now, I think it's at an all-time high. We have so much talent. Look, for years and years and years, history of our sport, there's been 2-3 guys that really could win. Right now, I feel like we're at an all-time level of just talent and competition, and not necessarily always knowing what's going to happen next weekend at the race. How do you feel? You've been around. Yeah, you already said you're an older guy. You're even older than I am, and I'm old. How do you feel about the state of our sport right now as we go into 2026?
Well, I think that, look, I mean, maybe I have a different take on it just based off of the teams and the personnel and teams are still in the paddock and teams that have left, right? I mean, there's been a lot that have been in the scene that tried to make it work, and for whatever reason it didn't. Maybe it was just a smaller funded program or whatnot. But to your point, I think that to answer your question, I think from the professionalism standpoint, it's never been better. I think a lot of things have factored in, like preparation for the riders, their training, and that's everything from physical to nutrition to personal trainers to, people realize, some anyway, they can make a lot of money doing this in a short amount of time. So people are really putting a lot more, I would say, not to say that the old timers didn't put effort into it, because they certainly did. Right. But I just think the I don't want to like blow out anybody from the old days, but just the level of dedication. Again, like I grew up in the era of the Johnny O'Maras and David Baileys and Mike Bells and all that. Right. And we all know the stories about them, and they were just complete animals. But it's really funny when you watch, especially for me growing up in the 80s era, you watch it now and then it's just like, look, it's amazing to watch these guys and what they can do. And, everybody always points a finger at Jet and they should. I mean, you watch the guy ride a motorcycle, you're like, how the hell does he do that? And I think a lot of his competitors are probably saying the same thing. I will say that, you never want to see anybody get hurt. That's the worst part of the sport. And the part that, as someone that builds products for these guys and stuff, I dread the thought of that, someone getting hurt on the bike. But I will say this, like when Jet went out with his injury, it made racing a lot more interesting because I think it got to a point when he would get out front, it was kind of like, oh shit, this is over.
Yeah,
and it just kind of took a little bit out of the wind, a little bit of the enthusiasm. And I speak to that because I have a lot of friends that, they don't ride, but they just they love the sport. And it would be like they'd have these big watch parties. And look, he's just doing his job. I mean, what's he supposed to do? Lay up and not try? Of course not, right? He's paid to kick everyone's ass, right? But when he would get out front and check out, they'd kind of like, oh, well, and it'd kind of be the end of the watch party. They lost interest in it, right?
I got you.
I think going in this year, Dark Side, and I'll get to the point that I think a lot of things are on the horizon. I think there's a lot of stuff that we'll see. The Ducati program coming in, and Cooper Webb, can he do it again? And Eli on a new bike, and Kenny sure riding good in World Supercross. Hunter obviously stepped up his game. It's going to be really cool to watch. And if I had a wish, it's just that the racing was a lot closer, and because I think everybody benefits from that, right? Just makes it more enjoyable. And, we all wonder like, oh man, who's going to win? Or even if Jet gets a 4th place start, maybe he doesn't win, right? It just makes it more exciting as fans. And I think at the end of the day, whether we work in this industry or not, right, guys? I mean, we're all just fans, right? Mm-hmm. So let's hope everybody stays safe and puts on some good racing and a good show.
100% agree. Do you have one more, Chase?
Yeah, I just had something to tell you. April texted me. She was listening to the show. She said thanks and appreciate everything you do.
Well, that's awesome. Well, thank you for that. And like I said, she was such a sweet girl, and it was neat we could do that. So thank you for sharing that.
Yes, sir.
Well, John, I don't know if you looked at YouTube tonight, but I have my front wheel sitting here that you sent me. So this thing's beautiful. I'm waiting on some hardware so I can mount my front rotor and my sprocket to the rear, and then I'll get these things on the bike. But they look amazing, and I cannot wait to throw them on my YZ250F, and it's going to look mean. So, yeah.
That's awesome.
These were the same wheels. They were purple on the 24. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Those are the exact same set of wheels.
And don't worry, John, his mediocre mechanic skills, he only scuffed a little bit of it getting their tire
scuffed, dude. They're not scuffed. I do need I do need a good set of tire spoons, but I think I did a pretty damn good job.
That's all right.
Hey, Dark Side, you should send me a text or remind me tomorrow. We actually have tire irons too as part of our W Essentials. So send me a text tomorrow. I'll send you some. How's that?
Boom. We just had an email that's like, what do you want for Christmas? And I said, I need some good tire spoons.
Christmas coming early.
Christmas is here.
Well, Santa Claus just answered your call. So
awesome. Well, I will text you tomorrow. Guys, if you're listening, WLab.com. Get you some shirts made. If you need wheels, WUSA.com. John and Kristen have been around this business a long time, and they are good people and premier wheel company in the business. Thanks for jumping on here for a little bit and talking to us. We're going to let you go, and we're going to get Hudson Short on, and we're going to make fun of him for his Minios performance.
Awesome. Well, thanks for having me on. I appreciate it, guys. And Dark Side, I've told you this before. I wouldn't say it if I didn't mean it, but I appreciate your hustle, and I knew you before you got into this stuff, full time, or when you had to stand at the other media company and all that. So, I've seen I've seen a little bit of the grind that you put in to do this, and so it's neat to see that you're still doing it. And I told you this before too. I go, hey man, one thing that you have, unlike most all the other podcasters out there, which is not a knock, is you get some really, really good guests that maybe won't do other shows. So you're doing something right, my friend. So keep up the good work, dude. And I'm a big fan of you, man. So phone's always open for you guys. Okay.
And that means a lot, John. Thank you. I'm a big fan of yours, and I appreciate all you've done for me and the show and everything. So thank you so much, man.
Awesome. All right. Well, you guys have a great night, and it was nice chatting with you. Okay?
You too. All right. Thanks.
Take care, guys.
You too. That's John Anderson from WUSA, brought to you tonight by Guts Racing. Yeah, he's a good dude.
I like John.
Let me get Hudson on, and we'll roll right into Turd's take.
Yeah, you have found this little niche of like, hey, like we're the one podcast that the riders don't hate. Like,
yeah, I don't think anybody hates us that I'm aware of.
Have you, and didn't we finally got Kenny to do one, right?
Yeah, Kenny's been on, and yeah,
wasn't it hard?
We're about the only. No, that was easy. Kenny,
I thought it was something.
No, Kenny's never had an issue with us.
Anderson was kind of
hard.
We
had Jason Anderson on,
Yeah.
but he doesn't do anything.
Hayden doesn't really do any other shows other than ours.
Yeah.
So, but we got our next guest of the night on, and our next guest of the night's going to be brought to you by.
Speaking
ETS.
of MotoXpod exclusives.
Yeah. This guest. This next guest better not be doing any other podcast. He's going to be brought to you, though, by ETS Racing Fuels, which was forged from the teat of competition nearly 30 years ago, developing purpose-engineered fuel for high-profile teams in highly competitive series. We have been the power behind many podium wins ever since, and teams using ETS Racing Fuels have won more than 50 national and world champion titles, including teams like Factory KTM, Factory HRC Honda, Rockstar Gas, and more. Tonight, ETS Racing Fuels brings us, for Turd's take, our buddy, Hudson Short. What's up, Turd?
What's up, guys? How are you?
Oh, we're good, man. We're good. We're just kind of plugging along, having a fun show. Just got off the phone with John Anderson from WUSA, and now we're talking to you.
That's the wheels we run. Great wheels.
Yes, they are. I have one sitting here on my my table. That's going to go on my Yamaha any day now. So, but Hudson, we had you on a couple weeks ago on the last show before Minios. You had some goals. You had some expectations. I don't think you met them, buddy.
Nope. Tough race at Minios.
Yeah, walk
a
us
lot of
through
stuff happened. Well, I want to start off. I forgot how big the event was. Like I went there last year and the year before, but still, so many people there. I mean, it feels really crazy, especially the first day you go in. They obviously no pit bikes now because of the AMA ban, but on mountain bikes, if you're going to go from one side of the pits to the other, it's crazy how much time that takes. And it's crazy when you're riding and you can it feels like you're in a stadium on the Supercross track almost. Like there's a lot of people, a lot of semis. It's a cool feeling.
Yeah, I haven't been to that event. Size-wise, with what you're talking about, how does it compare to Loretta's when you get there and look around? Is it similar?
I think that Minios has, with the sheer amount of people at Minios, is more than Loretta's, but I do think, quote unquote, more important people go to Loretta's, like from the industry.
Okay.
And from the pro side, I think more people go to Loretta's, and Minios, you don't have to qualify. You just have to sign up really quick.
Okay.
But, I think you do get a little bit more people at Minios, especially class-wise and entries. But
really?
I do think Loretta's is still the sheer amount of pressure and everything that goes into Loretta's makes the race at Loretta's feel bigger still.
Yeah.
Minios was 6,128 entries.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's impressive. Well, take us through your week. If I have my results right, you did well in the 125 BC, or you raced the 125 BC, but didn't start any of the schoolboys. So just take us through your week. Tell us what happened, and just why you fell short. I mean, you had to learn something from this. That's what. Hopefully, what
you said you fell short.
I did. I didn't even mean to. But I'm sure you have to take something positive away from this to not want to be sad and cry. So I'm sure you took a lesson away at the very least that you could turn this around into something positive. Take us through your week.
Yeah, I don't know why it doesn't say I raced schoolboy, because I definitely raced schoolboy.
Oh yeah, did not start in every one of your results that I saw.
I saw that.
Really?
We had you on the show and you said you were going to go. So when I was watching the Racer TV, I was looking for your stuff, and then I looked at your results, and a bunch of DNSs. I was like, "What?
Yeah,
is he okay?
I just looked today.
Definitely started every race.
Oh wow. Well, I don't remember the software that recorded all the races. It's raceresults.com or something like
Racer
that.
TV.
Well, it wasn't on.
I wonder if it's fixed now. I'm going to look.
It's on that laptop, but wherever I saw the results today, it had you as DNS and all your schoolboy races.
Huh. That's weird.
Yeah, it is. Well, take us through your weekend, though. Tell us what happened from your perspective.
So, Supercross started the week off good. First Supercross heat race, I had really bad gate picks, but a lot of people still did good with bad gate picks. So that's not really an excuse, but I had really bad gate picks, 34th, I think, and 37th, and got a terrible start in the first heat race, I think, and barely made it in, I think, or maybe I got like 17th or something. I don't know. I crashed. Not a very good first race, but I was back-to-back races. I had like 5 or 6 in between, but you have to go up really early there. So I had to basically come straight back to the line. And the second one, I also had a really bad gate pick, but I don't know. I got a good start and came out whole shotted from like 37th gate pick from the very inside gate and did good in that race. I think I got P3. So I can only race 2 classes on 125. So those are my heat races in the 125 class. And then the mains, everything kind of fell apart. Had some crashes again. I almost found myself trying too hard, trying to override the bike and not riding to the potential I rode in at least that one heat race.
Yeah.
And I did feel like I rode really good in that heat race, but it still wasn't what I would like to ride like. So, yeah, it's a lot to learn from. Motocross, I had some bike issues with my clutch and some fluid going on in my front brakes. I had no clutch and no front brake while I was doing really good, like P5. Stuff like that definitely didn't help the week, but at the end of the day, it is all me. I could have done so many things better, not just my bike. My bike's plenty good enough. So yeah, it's just a lot of learning, gotta look forward, pull a tear off, as my dad says, reset for the spring nationals and come out swinging. So
aside from the mechanical stuff, you said there's, a lot of things that you could have done differently. You had some crashes. Like what do you think the number one thing is that you need to work on? And I'm going to guess it's more of a mental thing, because your technique's pretty good. You're a good rider, but the crashes a lot of times are mental, probably. So, or maybe not though. What's the one major thing you're like, I have to work on this before spring nationals?
Yeah, it's honestly kind of, if I had to pick one thing, let me think for a second.
Yeah.
I think I would pick like my first lap intensity and like my dad says, you got to make moves quick. A lot of people, they can get mid-pack starts and they can be top 5 by the first lap. And I kind of get sucked into the people around me a lot. So I get the whole shot. I ride with those people, but I get a 20th place start. I can't move through the pack as fast, So I think I need to work on my sprint speed and my intensity. I gotta work on my roll speed. Like my dad always says, my dad's not a flashy rider at all. He's got that old man style, but he still makes it work and he still goes pretty dang fast. So I got to work on that. I got to work on my roll speed with intensity is what my dad always says, roll speed with intensity, for every race. And I think it really helps if you can do that. You can be a lot more consistent, hit the same turn good 9 out of 10 times instead of 2 out of 10 times. Really good. So yeah, I just got to work on that. My intensity, roll speed. And I think if I can refine a few things, I can be a lot closer to where I want to be.
So roll speed, I feel like you could probably work on that even at your own place by yourself. Intensity, on the other hand, is very difficult to mimic outside of a race situation. So how do you feel like you're going to work on intensity leading up to the next big race?
And race his dad.
There you go.
Yeah. Me and my dad ride together a lot, and I think you can never mimic a race really unless you're actually racing. But if you're racing against a watch on sprint laps and if you're doing a moto and your first lap is 2 seconds or a second off your best lap in the moto, your first lap should always try to be your best. You know, you can put your best foot forward there. So I can race against the clock. I can race against the old man that I have like 20 feet away from me right now. And yeah, I'm going to try to go race some Winter Series rounds, maybe some AA, I don't know. But yeah, nothing can mimic racing. So I definitely need to get racing a little bit before Spring Nationals too.
Okay. You got one, Scotty?
Yeah. So I noticed that on I can't remember exactly what day it was. I don't know. Is it they watered it so much so that they wouldn't get dried out? But it did seem like that the outdoor track was way ruddier than it normally is. Did it? I know you've done videos a few years. Was that the roughest you've rode the Gatorback track, or what did it seem like that way?
It's hard to say. I think it was about the same as the last 2 years. I think that track is always so rough, and the TV camera does not do it justice.
I know, yeah. That's what I was saying.
That sand sweeper is so gnarly. I remember almost going over the bars in my last race because they tilled it so deep the last day. And I remember almost going down the bar or going over the bars, going down the middle and thinking there was P-dubs on the line next. Or no, it wasn't P-dubs. It was 65s.
Yeah.
It was 65s on the line. And I'm like, how are they going to go through this?
And then
but
they just rip.
I don't know. Maybe it's a rider error. Maybe it's me. But I think it's super rough every year. And that, for me, I really like that Gatorback track. I know a lot of people complained about the Supercross track this year. It felt like concrete riding it. And I know a lot of people had some crashes where they were sliding out and stuff like that, but it was 0 ruts for most of the track. There was about 2 corners that got a little bit of ruts, but besides that, it was just start dependent and no ruts.
Yeah. Yeah. I that's how I know the track was rough, because if I'm looking at it on YouTube and it looks rough, I know that it's insane and I don't want any part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's always.
I got a little hot take here.
Okay, let's go.
On the Supercross track, I don't know if y'all saw any of the pros, but they have a pro section.
Yeah.
I think a few more classes should run the pro section.
I agree. Why is the intermediate class not riding that section?
Yeah, that's what I was supposed to say. I'm not saying like P-dubs or anything like that should even be touching that section, but I think all big bike B classes should run the pro section, because at the end of the day, that's not you can say it's a pro section, but the whoops there are a lot smaller. I don't want to say a lot, but they're smaller than what you would really see in the stadium. And there's nothing in that rhythm that would, I don't know, everything can hurt you on a dirt bike, but there's nothing in that rhythm that's going to really hinder you. I feel like I don't know the right word, but it's not, nothing in that pro section would really like be it's so hard to explain.
I know what you're saying, but they can't call
it's not that much of a pro section. I don't want to downplay it, because it is still a separator, and that's what I really want to see on that track is a separator. Because for me, as a racer, I didn't really see a separator this year. You know, like there was this one little 3N. A few 125s did it. I did it, but that's one spot, and that's only a half second. There's not much that's going to separate you on that track. So for me, if you can add in some loops, add in a rhythm, give some people some options so that everyone isn't doing the exact same thing, I think that would benefit the race itself. Because I know a lot of people that didn't even race Supercross this year. They just raced motocross.
Because of the track conditions?
Yeah, because of the track conditions. I don't think it's the right thing to do, to just not race it.
Yeah.
But I think that they need to do something. They need to switch up the layout or switch up the schedule of the event, something to try to make it feel new again almost. Yeah. You know, like every single time I've been there, that layout has been the exact same.
Well, I mean, isn't that the same at Loretta's? It's pretty much the same track every year. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thing is about Loretta's, though, you only ride it once a year.
Okay, fair point.
They could, I feel like, I remember, 10, 12 15 years ago, like I feel like the Supercross section was a little more gnarly. Like there was some stuff, like I remember watching like Malcolm Stewart and Dean Wilson and stuff and those guys, and they were like jumping like stuff like, I was like, oh, that's a real like Supercross section. Supercross? Yeah. I feel like it used to be that way.
But one thing they did really good this year that I noticed, I raced 85s last year, and this year I'm in 125 class. So it might have been a little different there, but I'm super happy that the mains were, I think one of them they messed up and they gave us 9 laps, but in Supercross, they were supposed to be 8 laps, which is plenty for how many races they have to go through. But I was really happy about that. And I think they did a great job by giving the big bike intermediate classes some good track time.
Yeah, that's a big deal at those events. You don't want to go to such a big event and then get like 4 laps, 5 laps. I got to ask you about this hill climb video, Hudson.
Oh man,
what
so
what are we doing?
We're gonna bring that up.
What?
We're gonna bring that up.
Yeah, it's playing right now on our YouTube channel, so people are watching.
Okay. Oh wow.
What happened?
So I'm gonna give you a little backstory here.
Okay.
That guy named Andrew Short, he saw the video and he said, oh yeah, just keep the throttle on and hit it like you're gonna hit a rock. So give it a lot of throttle at the bottom and don't hammer the throttle as you're going up. So I didn't even look at the hill because I knew I would get scared. I saw someone do it was first lap of practice, not even warmed up, maybe 2 minutes into the course. And I see someone in front of me hit it and they make it up. So I'm like, oh, it can't be that bad. So I dropped down there, not even looking at the hill, hit it in the worst possible spot, dead center, and give it no gas. I don't know what I was thinking. Broke my throttle too, bent my bike up.
Yeah.
It was not my proudest moment. And for it to be all over the Torque, that and my log video of me crashing over the log, that had to be all over the Torque's Facebook page and Instagram. I was not the happiest person about that.
Wait, they started doing Torques again?
Yeah.
I thought they got rid of it.
No, Torques is going strong.
Okay, good.
No, we need to do some.
Yeah, that was where
I'm thinking of Torn.
Yeah, you're.
Okay.
Texas Off-Road Nationals.
Yeah, okay. My bad.
Yeah, we got to do some more off road. I especially now that I have the 250.
Where was the Torque? Where was this one at?
It was at a place called Powell's. It was in Bastrop or Cedar Creek.
Oh, yeah, that's not too far away from me. I wish
that sounds fun.
Yeah.
How come you didn't invite me?
It was a good course. I'm sorry.
You should have invited me
somewhere in there.
I'm sorry. I knew you. Every single time I invite you somewhere, you're always like, I'm busy. Or
I know.
Cool guys, you?
No, it's not cool guys.
Me. Yeah, for sure. Better things to do.
I got to make this trip down there happen soon. We got to figure that out.
Yeah.
We have to figure this out. But God,
life swap might happen quicker than this.
Dude, listen, when you have family and you have I have a regular job now, plus I'm trying.
You're not trying. He's not saying you have to swap your life.
I know, but it's hard to drive. All right,
it's not. He's just making excuses.
We have to figure this out soon, very soon. I wanted to do it during this off season, and nothing. We haven't. It's almost Christmas time. I'm on call every other week now. It's stupid.
Oh, okay, all right. Yeah.
It's gonna be a little chilly camping.
We're gonna figure it out,
property.
Hudson. I've been telling you. I promise you, when it warms back up, we're going down.
Hudson, are you doing
this?
Not
too warm though.
Are you doing this awful 8 thing?
I don't know. Yeah, I'm not against it or for it, or for the winter series. I'm not against it or for it. I'm just gonna. I don't know. There's a A8 race at Swan this weekend. I can't go Christmas parties and stuff because my dad's got to be an adult. So I can't go to that. But yeah, I don't know. I'm going to try to go to a few of them. Just look at the tracks, not the series. And just go to the best tracks I see. And yeah, just go from there.
Let me know if you come up this way. I'll come out and shoot some pictures.
Yeah, that'd be sweet.
Well, I feel like I can help you with your intensity if I come to one of your tracks and you have to lap me like within 3 laps or something. That could be your intensity.
That's what you need to do. You just need to put.
That's a warm up.
They just need to let Dark Side start like 20 seconds in front of all of y'all, like all the classes as you do, and you'll win every single one of them.
Hey, I got one more thing right here.
Okay.
What's the update on our bet about Jorge Prado?
What do you mean? Nobody actually sent in any responses of things we should do. Not a single response.
What was the bet?
So you were here.
I know, but that doesn't mean I remember.
He said that Jorge Prado's best finish would be a 5th, and TJ said something
I do remember that.
3
Third
podiums or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
Sounds like
insane.
a
It's
TJ
here
pick.
somewhere.
I thought it was. I was thinking of a bet with you, as I don't remember him betting you, but I do remember him betting TJ.
TJ said multiple podiums.
Yeah.
And Turd said
I don't know,
Jorge
remember
Prado's best finish is a 5th. So, yeah, if he
What was his best? A 5th?
he's talking about
6?
this year coming in
Oh.
26. So we won't know for a few months,
got you.
obviously. But
Yeah.
I wanted our listeners to give us some ideas for like
Punishment.
punishment. Yeah. So
And keep in mind, I am a minor.
Yeah.
yes,
I got that,
MotoXpod.com contact form. We'll come up with something though before we talk to you again, and I need to put some thought into that too. But the series is about to kick off, so all right, Hudson, we got to get Brady on from Atlas Brace. He's our next guest. We're going to talk about that USA Today article and all that good stuff. That's going to be an intense conversation.
Awesome. Yeah, sounds good.
Well, Hudson,
thanks for having me on, guys.
always, man. And I promise you, I'm going to get down there. I got to think about it. So I'm going to try to do A1, and then Houston's at the end of January, and then Dallas. I don't know when it's going to be, man, but in 26, I will get down to your area, and we're going to go ride. And
I want to go right. I want to go too.
I'm going to take you out and ruin your gear.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I like it.
And
I'll
then
believe that when I see it.
I won't send you a replacement.
Oh, I guess I just got to take the jersey back then.
Yeah, it's hanging on the wall right behind me, so it's there.
Yeah, it was sweet. I was so stoked. I took a screenshot, sent it to the family
Oh,
group
there you
chat.
go.
Yeah. Yeah, it's awesome, man. It's got your dad was laughing at your signature a little bit on Instagram. He's like,
Hey, it was good. I'm homeschooled.
awesome, Hudson.
I
We're
put
gonna
some
let
thought
you.
into that.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna let you go, but man, we always appreciate it when you jump on here with us.
Thank you, guys.
All right, see you, buddy. All right. Hudson Short tonight brought to you by ETS. Let me work on getting Brady on. We'll roll right into our final guest, and then we'll finish up with the last couple segments.
Does she still have a few minutes before you get ready on?
He said he's ready.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's ready. So we will get him on. He's going to be brought to you by Race Tech. Once again, Race Tech, building a reliable world-class engine requires a combination of state-of-the-art equipment and experienced, knowledgeable technicians. Race Tech provides quality, precision engine services using the best equipment and processes in the industry. Well known for supporting the fastest privateers, but did you know behind the scenes, some of the winningest factory teams also trust Race Tech for their industry-leading engine services? Tonight, Race Tech brings us the CEO of Atlas Neck Braces, our buddy Brady Sheren. What's up, Brady?
How's it going?
It's going good, man. Going good. I appreciate you getting on here. I think this is the first time you've actually been on the show. We did do a industry insights when I was back at Vital, but yeah, thanks for doing this.
Yeah, no problem at all. I appreciate you guys having me. This is a touchy subject, but it needs to be talked about.
Yeah, and one of the reasons I reached out to you is because of the USA Today article. But before we get into that, just a little bit, tell us what's going on with Atlas. I know you guys recently released a bunch of youth products and kind of your Atlas 2.0 initiative, but a lot going on at Atlas.
Yeah, we're finally kind of expanding the line where we wanted it to go by extending to other areas of the body. So we're getting, kind of beyond neck braces a little bit, and trying to cover these other areas. So we're getting, like you said, the chest protection for the kids. We have some adult ones coming out in, a month or two. We should have them. So there's a bunch of variations of that the people are going to love. The people we've had riding in them have had unbelievable feedback. They're super comfortable, easy to wear. And mobility is really our main focus on that stuff, sort of like it was with the neck braces. We want people to be protected, but we want them to be able to move and do what they need to do as well.
Yeah, and speaking on that, you gave me one of the Vision neck braces. You gave us a few to give away to our listeners. You gave one to my co-host TJ, who's not in tonight, and he loves it. Honestly, I do wear it every time I ride now, and it is... I don't notice it. Like, I legitimately do not realize I even have it on when I'm riding. For me, as just a regular amateur average guy, I don't feel like it hinders me in any way whatsoever.
Yeah, that was really the idea with that one. And I was sad to see it got overlooked more than I had hoped because, to me, it really solved every problem that everyone kind of had with neck braces in general, as far as not being able to see and feeling like it's there, and it reduced the weight by half. You know, it really ticked all these boxes that were seemingly impossible, and then added a different variation to the neck brace category where, you know, with chest protectors, you have full protectors, hard protectors, soft protectors, under protectors. You have all these different variants that suit different people's needs. With neck braces, you really had one choice, a full neck brace. There was different brands, but, you know, the size of them and the way they fit is all relatively in the same vein.
Yeah.
So this kind of made like a front-only chest protector version of a neck brace in a sense, to give people more choice. And, you know, these guys that had a short neck and just couldn't make it work, this gave them something that they could use that could still protect them. And it made it an option for them they didn't have before.
Yeah, it's an amazing brace, and I think the listeners that won the braces have all sent me messages. And I think a couple of them maybe even reached out to you, and they're really enjoying them. So it's a great thing. But yeah, like at the go ahead. Oh,
I just said amazing. That's awesome.
Oh, okay. Okay. So, but yeah, one of the main reasons I reached out to you was this recent USA Today article calling motocross the deadliest sport for youth. They gave a lot of numbers, and the numbers are high, obviously. And I looked into rodeo, and I looked at ice hockey and a bunch of other, and the injuries, the catastrophic injuries are a lower number. I think danger is inherent in our sport. And there's a lot of things we could talk about with some of the different topics they brought up of ways that maybe would help, like national standards, et cetera. But I want to get your thoughts on this article, first of all, just the overarching thoughts.
Yeah, there's a lot. You know, I think people fear what looks dangerous, not what is dangerous. You know, we have a sport that appears very dangerous externally. When someone looks at it, they go, oh my God, what, like, this is crazy. Where when they look at hockey or cheerleading or football, they think, oh yeah, people, you know, get hurt, but it doesn't look that bad, even though there's, you know, plenty of terrible injuries and all of these things. The biggest problems I had really with the article was that it sensationalized the danger without really having perspective. You know, when you say 6 deaths a year, that's terrible. And, you know, obviously, especially children, I mean, nobody wants that to happen. I wish that number was 0.
Sure,
like all of us. But also, that's on par with lightning strikes. Like, we're talking about a statistically, you know, bottom 1% of all causes of death that are so statistically irrelevant. Like, we don't worry about walking around getting struck by lightning. That's not, you know, on people's minds. So, I mean, statistically, it's a pretty low number. And when you say it by itself, it sucks. When you say it in that context, it's, you know, it kind of gives some perspective to it. You know, and for me, the article, it promoted the fear. And I don't like that part where it was very light on suggestions or possible fixes for the problem.
Yeah,
you know,
I would agree with that. Yeah.
You don't ban innovation because of failure. You design out of the failure. And, you know, and that's what, you know, design, I don't just mean products. I mean, you know, you can fix the facilities, all these things that they mention. You know, yeah, it's a tricky problem.
Yeah. I think some of their suggestions or the things that they mentioned that need to be changed, I actually am on board with, right? I don't think we should have mixed practices, and very few tracks where I'm at, no tracks where I'm at actually do mixed practices. Maybe that's not true. Chase, I guess during open practice.
Still, it's big bikes, little bikes.
Yeah, usually almost everywhere it is. I think that's a very easy thing, right? That every track could.
It's every 30 minutes, 30 minutes of big bikes, 30 minutes
never
little bikes.
Have little bikes on the track with big bikes.
The only time they really don't is when there's 10 or 12 people.
Yeah.
Where it's like a few enough number of riders
that's
that it's
very
almost
small tracks. And then Brady, like the medical attention, you know, having a medical staff. Look, I mean, if every track, here's the thing, if every track that has any kind of practice has medical staff and trained flaggers, the consumer, us as riders, are going to have to be okay with the price of practice going up, because that costs money. Insurance costs money. And we have to be okay with that. We can't go, oh, well, now it's too expensive to go ride. We have to be willing to pay the fees that it's going to cost to institute or implement those things. And I'm not against that. Like, I'm okay with that. But at the same time, if you go to a track that does not have medical staff and does not have flaggers, and you sign a waiver and you choose to send your child out there and he gets hurt, that at point is on you. Anyway, that's good.
Yeah, and I mean, I have a bit of a different perspective on all of this stuff. I don't like to get in the weeds about all these, nuances and little things and facilities and flaggers and all of this. I agree. I think all of those things could probably be improved almost everywhere. Mm-hmm. Like, there's always room for improvement in those things, and we should do all of those things the best that we can. But my problem is that regardless of what you change, and people get mad at me when I say this, but it's the reality, so they're going to have to get on board. But what is the root cause of an injury? It's bodies hitting the ground.
Yes.
And there's really nothing we can do to stop that. We can't eliminate gravity. It's going to exist. And no matter what you change, people are going to hit the ground. Flat trackers high side and hit the wall and die. The track is flat. They're going in a circle. Like, it doesn't really get much more simple than that, but it's still, these things happen. So my issue is that, we should make a million changes, but while everyone's arguing about those and, making new rules and policing tracks and doing all these things that are going to take years, people in the meantime are still going to be getting hurt. So to me, what we really need to do is focus on or people individually should focus on the thing that they can change today. And that thing is safety gear. If you know that it's inevitable that you're going to hit the ground, you should probably prepare for that the best you can. And granted, that's not perfect. That's not going to stop all injuries either. No. I'm not naive to that. But that's the best chance we have. We know we're hitting the ground, so let's do our best job protecting our body in that case.
Yeah, I think it's like either that or don't ride, I guess, right? I mean,
the unfortunate part is insurance is becoming a problem. It's becoming a problem in more places, which, if that continues, riding areas are either going to get too expensive or not being able to operate because they can't even get insurance. Then what do? We don't have a sport anymore. So if we're faced with, eventually this impending doom of, hey, you have no sport, or maybe we can make some changes like having some more safety gear, doing some things to appease these insurance companies, that might be our only hope.
Yeah, I
hope it doesn't come to that.
Right. Well, how about this? So TJ, TJ's one of my co-hosts, but he's not here tonight. And he texted and wants me to ask you if you think the AMA should have a standard for tracks. Well, I'll let you ask that first because I have another similar question.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I think there's a million things on the list of, facility safety that could get improved. Now, again, you get in the weeds about it. We could talk about this for 3 months and not get anywhere. It's
yeah.
I think
of course.
A lot of things should happen. I think it should come from the top. But that's a slow burn. It's going to take a long time. It's going to take a lot of effort, and we should do all that. But I don't know how to implement that faster, or that's got to be up to the sanctioning bodies, and how do you police it? And
yeah, exactly. And
that's a tough one.
We were just talking about our local private track, 6 feet under. I mean, there's no AMA sanctioning there, but we go out there and our buddies come out and they bring their kids, and you're not going to have AMA sanctioning there. And at the same time, you go, okay, well, should a track have safety equipment requirements? Like your kid can't ride without a chest protector, but then that gets into questionable, like a little questionable area where
it could open up litigation at that point.
So it's really a fine line of what you can do and what's going to work. And for me, as a fan of the sport, like at the end of the day, you just have to, it's inherently a dangerous sport. As you said, you're going to hit the ground. I like your quote about gravity. You kind of use that. You said a very similar thing in the vital thing we did, that you're going to hit the ground. That's just the way it is. So you have to prepare for that the best you can as an individual, as a parent, or whatever, and decide, is the risk worth taking? And it's your choice. It doesn't really have anything to do with the tracks. Now, I do agree with flaggers, and it's a lot better to have all the safety precautions available. But that's not always like the local track we're just talking about. It's a private track owned by a buddy of mine, and we just show up. There's not going to be an ambulance. There's not going to be flaggers. So either I choose to go or I choose not to go. And if I had a kid riding, I make that choice. And at the end of the day, it's on us as individuals.
Yeah, of course. And, to me, the problem isn't inherently the sport itself. It's bad design, bad rules, or bad management, or any combination of those things. So engineering involves all three of those, but you need engineering on the product side. You need engineering on the facility side. You need engineering on the management side. You need to retool things to fix these gaps that are leading to these issues. I think a lot of the stuff in the article too is edge cases, a water truck parked beside the track, or things like that, or a third of the deaths that they were talking about are like in the sand dunes or out camping. It's like those are some of the most dangerous situations that you can get in on a motorcycle, and usually involve alcohol or people going every different direction. It's like it's hard to even lump those in with what we're doing on a track. It's such a different animal. So that doesn't necessarily help the cause. But to me, if we're struggling to get insurance, that's going to force more people to go ride their dirt bikes at uninsured, unrestricted places like dunes, like these dangerous places. So by not getting insurance and potentially shutting down tracks and things like that, it's inevitably probably going to lead to more injury, not less, unfortunately.
Yeah, you may be right.
You're going to be in places with no rules.
Right.
With no rules. So that doesn't work. So to me, we just have to re-engineer all of the holes that are filling the problem and work our way through that. And, the conversation of mandatory safety gear, I mean, that's, people get their backs up when you mention that, but, Denmark has made neck braces mandatory for everybody. The AMA is starting to make chest protectors mandatory. And, even in that article, I mean, what are the top 3 ways you're probably going to die? Either head injury, neck injury, or internal organ injury. Well, there's only 3 pieces of equipment that can help you with that.
Yeah.
A helmet, a neck brace, and a chest protector. So it's like we should probably be protecting those areas.
I agree.
It's kind of simple math. And like I said, it's a decision that people can make for themselves today. They don't have to wait for things to be mandatory. They don't have to wait for someone to tell them, you have to wear this.
Yeah.
It's something they can do now.
I feel like most parents would want their kids in as much protection gear as possible. And, there's not a lot of great stuff out there, or there hasn't been. But again, you guys are really working on that, and it's come a long way. So it's getting better.
And it's not even just us. There's plenty of good options out there. It doesn't have to be ours. I'm not on here, obviously I want to sell product, but it's not. There's plenty of good options out there. And even if you want a neck brace and it's not ours, that's cool. I just want to see more of them out there. So, I don't get so sad every time someone crashes and gets paralyzed and, wasn't wearing it. It breaks my heart.
And I think that it would have been a little nice for the people doing this article to reach out to a guy like you or another guy that runs a safety company, and maybe, obviously show, these things are happening. Yes. And then, but maybe offer a suggestion and like ways that we're working on to make it safer, and we're working with these sanctioning bodies. But like the article literally just ends and like, this little girl died. Right. And it's like they don't offer any suggestions. They just throw it up there on the board as like all these kids are dying, like it's a horror story, and then don't give any kind of room for the sport to grow. Like the people that have never heard anything about motocross will read this. Everybody's seen a football game. Everybody's seen a basketball game. It's all over the TV. Supercross and motocross really isn't as mainstream as that. So therefore, people are going to get kind of a bad look by just reading something like this if they don't try to work with you guys and offer suggestions and alternatives.
They're not in the business.
Yeah, like I said, it's very fear promoting rather than solutions. Yeah, like we need, if you want to, everyone should be discussing the problem, and you should poke holes and you should establish what's wrong and whatever. But you should also say, okay, how do we fix this? Or come get your hands dirty and work on a solution. It's like that's. I could yell at my phone all day about safety and whatever, but no, I'd rather build a company and products and help do it that way. Like just be in the trenches and work on solutions,
right?
To the best of my ability. It's just way more constructive, and if more people would do that instead of yell about it, I think we'd get somewhere. It's kind of like a societal issue. Whether it's politics or whatever, it's some world event. People love yelling about it, but they don't. that's as far as they go. They yell and they get upset, but no one wants to get their hands dirty and either work on solutions or even use existing solutions for a lot of problems that people have. They just want to ignore that and yell about things to just to be heard or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
But, we got to get down and dirty and, actually address these things to the best of our ability.
Yeah, there was definitely a lot of like they're doing all these things wrong, but there wasn't any. Well, look at the improvements on helmets over the last 10 years, or even the improvement on the neck brace from the inception of 20 years ago or whatever it was, and
that's the problem. That's the problem when you get these mainstream news people. You get a journalist guy that's never even seen the sport. Okay, he goes to Loretta's and he talks to some people, and he did a pretty good job on covering some information that was useful in there, but you don't understand the sport. You don't know the nuances of it. You aren't aware of the technology changes. There's so much that you don't know, when you're in that position. And granted, they can't learn, the history of our entire sport and the few hours they put into this, but they just don't have that. So like you said, they should be talking to industry people. They should be talking to companies. They should be, doing a little bit more homework on solutions and offering these things. To just write an article about a bunch of people that died and then end it. I mean, that's
right.
That's unfortunate.
Or throw in some stories of the guy that worked, 100 hours a week and picked up extra shifts and took extra jobs so that the mom and the kid could go race this race and the kid could pursue his dream. Like show some of that too, there's heartwarming stuff in there too. It's not just this murderous, mass murder of a sport.
Somebody suggested. Go ahead.
There's an overwhelming amount of positive. I mean, I wouldn't trade my childhood for anything. That to me, that's one of the best, coolest ways a child could ever grow up. Going to races and traveling and getting sponsors and, riding dirt bikes. I mean, my childhood was exceptional. I mean, when I talk to, quote unquote normal people, civilians or whatever, when you're at school, when you're growing up or whatever, they're like, you did what this weekend? What?
Yeah,
right.
It's cool.
I flew to this place and did this race and it was on TV and I was signing autographs and they come in, they're like, what? We drank.
Yeah, or like, that video game you played where you were racing dirt bikes? I did it for real.
Yeah. So, I mean, to me, the family aspect of that, the traveling, the camping, the being out in nature and, not on screens and being physical, there's an abundance of positives that go along with that. It's just short-sighted and, like I said, they don't really put anything to compare in there. Like, the deaths are terrible, but, like I said, a third of them were kind of in inherently unsafe situations as they were. But, even when I was looking at stuff like this, even cheerleading has the highest number of catastrophic neck injuries of all sports. I never would have guessed that.
Yeah.
So they're flinging these girls. There's flinging these girls on the air and they got a gym floor. So if something goes wrong, it's ugly.
I saw that today when I was researching too. Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, there's so many examples like that. Football and concussions, all of these things. And with the other problem that I think our sport has is a bit of funding or help. You look at stick and ball sports. They have government support, city support, local community support. They have all these resources and all these funds to kind of tighten up all of these loose areas over time. We don't have that necessarily. There's some stuff, but it's like most of it's kind of grassroots and people are doing the best they can. We don't have the resources that they have and the regulation and, the oversight ours is fragmented.
Yes.
Which makes it really tough to make progress. Okay, the AMA wants to make all these changes. That's great, but they're not the only game in town. So it's like, that's helpful, but it's only helpful to a fault. And it's just tough. It's tough to combat all of these things.
So, Brady, before we let you go, I want to go back to the neck brace, and we talked about this again when we did Industry Insights. But TJ's in our chat right now, and there are people asking about there's no safety data or tests about neck braces, and we've talked about this before. So, for the people that say there's no safety data, there's no data. We talked about the collarbone. People thinking that wearing a neck brace is more likely to break a collarbone. Kind of help us out here.
There's no data that they like. Which
okay.
They don't seem to. Nothing seems to appease them. So all of us manufacturers, or at least Leah, Alpine Stars, and us, have released testing data that you can go look at. So there's 3 companies on 3 continents that have released data internally, which nobody likes because we fund it. So they think it's biased, even though we used a third-party lab. We didn't have control over the results. It's the same place that 6D tested. They actually used our test rig that we built. So we're not sitting there going, put this number down. Like, it doesn't work like that. And if we're not going to fund it, who is? It's not like people just want to give us hundreds of thousands of dollars to go do this stuff. That's not how it works. So anyways, we all have data like that. It's all positive from each of us. So, that's one thing. There's the ambulance report that studied 10,000 injuries over 10 years that is overwhelmingly positive on collarbones, critical neck injuries, every stat you can imagine. And it's not even close. It's not even like, the neck brace is 10% better. No, it's like 89% better. It's not even close. And then beyond that, neck braces have been in the market for 20 years, give or take. There's never been one single test or statistically relevant data that shows you're worse off wearing one. Nobody can produce it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's
so, to me, there's plenty of proof on the pro side that exists, and there's zero proof on the negative side. There's anecdotal stuff like, my friend got hurt, but that's not statistically relevant, or it doesn't show correlation doesn't equal causation. Essentially, you have to look at a huge data set to be able to rule out all the instances of individual accidents.
Is that information, your information, on the website, atlasbrace.com?
Yes, but not the raw testing data, but the illustrations of it and easier to digest forms of it that aren't a bunch of engineering speak that people would get dizzy looking at.
And I really enjoyed when we did Industry Insights. I don't think that was Industry Insights we did. We did an article about the Atlas 2.0, but you kind of had the analogy of the seatbelt, and in the early days, that's a good one for me, because I have all these people that are like, I think it's safer to not wear a seatbelt because my buddy was in a rollover that threw him out, and if he had been wearing a seatbelt, he would have died. And like, is that like 0.00001% of the time? I mean, I don't know. It's just ridiculous. And to me, the safe, obviously a seatbelt is safer than not wearing a seatbelt overall.
Well, the problem with the seatbelt was that when it was first invented, everyone went, "Oh no, I'm not doing that." Everyone hated it. It got hated. Like, they had to go to court for, I think it was 10 years or 6 years or something like that before it actually got mandated. People pushed back because they didn't want it. And then finally enough data came out to where it was irrefutable, and they had to go, well, this is safer by a mile. We have to do this for everyone's safety. To me, the neck brace is sort of a similar thing. They kind of, they come out and people kind of poo-poo them, or I mean, really they adopted them first and then poo-pooed them. But, but enough time has passed. And like I said, all data produced has been positive. There's never been negative data. So at what point do we kind of go, oh, hey, maybe they were right about this stuff? I mean, if someone has a negative test that's relevant and reproducible, I would love to see it. Please send it to me.
Yeah, exactly.
Never seen it.
Right.
Please, because I would love to examine it and find out what happened, and and find a way to engineer around it. But as far as I'm aware, there isn't one that exists. So to me, the burden of proof is on the people that say it doesn't work to produce something to back that claim up.
Yeah. People also thought it was absurd when they couldn't drink beer in their trucks anymore while they drove.
Those YouTube videos are hilarious.
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean?
Yeah, what do you mean? I get off work, I can't have a Budweiser? What are you talking about?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, the other thing, too, is, with some of these articles, we had another one up here recently in Canada. I live just close to Whistler, which is kind of a mountain bike mecca of the world. And there was a local article that was they had interviewed surgeons and people. It was mainly about spinal injuries. And the guy writing the article was like, nobody should be able to do this sport. We should just get rid of it completely and, move on because it's too dangerous. And, I get hints of that in this USA Today article too, where just banning things because they're dangerous is not a solution to anything. And the problem with that is it's a slippery slope that's never going to end. today it's motocross, tomorrow it's football, the next day it's hockey, then it's cheerleading. And they'll just keep going down the line because that's going to be the next most dangerous thing.
Mm-hmm.
Sooner or later, you have people sitting around playing chess and they go, all right, we're going to do something with all these people sitting down. It's going to get, it just keeps going forever. And no one's ever going to be satisfied. And eventually it's going to come for you and me and everyone doing anything. And that's just not a solution. We have to engineer our way out of the problems, not just delete them.
Yep, I agree. Brady, thank you for coming on here and giving us your expertise on this and helping us touch on the USA Today article. And I agree with you wholeheartedly.
I appreciate it. And yeah, if anyone has any questions on our products or this topic or whatever, reach out to us through the Atlas website or social media and get in touch with me. I'm happy to have a conversation about it and hear people's opinions and thoughts and ideas. And, like I said, I'm one of the many people out in the trenches trying to help the problem. So if someone has a better idea than me, I'm all ears.
Well, I appreciate you. And again, if you guys are in the market or even considering getting a neck brace, the Atlas Vision is my favorite that I've worn. I've worn a couple different Atlas braces. I have the OG original Liat brace hanging up in my shop. I've tried a few different ones, and that Vision, man, I don't really care for the straps, the harness, whatever. I wear it strapless, but I love it.
Okay. So one of the things we did for that is on the protectors, we have straps on all of those shoulders. So it kind of gets rid of that problem and makes it a comfier setup. But
okay.
Yes, I agree. The strap is a thorn in my side and a very difficult problem.
Yeah, well, I don't mind it without it. Like at first I thought it was going to bounce around a lot, but I just don't feel it anymore. It's never in the way, man. I actually went somewhere and I forgot it and I was like, oh shit. And riding without it now feels weird. It feels wrong.
I've never felt comfortable in neck brace. I've never given it enough time probably to get comfortable in it. But I have a buddy that he's had a broken back before, and now he rides Spencer. He rides with neck. He rides with the neck brace. And one time we went out to the track. We drove an hour to go ride, and he'd paid his money. And he forgot his neck brace, and he didn't ride.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I
still rode.
He can't do it. There's other people that are just as serious about wearing it as there is people that aren't.
It's a really good brace.
Well,
go ahead.
And mentally, that's difficult, right? And if that was the day that he crashed, he'd never forgive himself. It's hard to get over that. It's also difficult because no one wants to think about that. No one wants that day or that possibility or that could happen. So it's a difficult topic to talk about, especially when guys, you have Joe Shimoda that just got hurt and all these people got hurt throughout the year. It's really difficult to talk about because it's so sensitive and touchy, and it's hard because we should be having those conversations. And, I just get so sad because every time that stuff happens, I go out and look at my warehouse with racks full of neck braces and just go,
I get it.
It's really tough, but yeah, man, I appreciate the time and thank you guys for letting me vent, I guess I'll say.
Yeah, of course, man. Thanks for jumping on here and doing that. Thank you so much for your time tonight, Brady.
No worries. Have a good night, guys.
All right, you too. That's Brady Sheren tonight, brought to you by Racetech. Brady Sheren, atlasbrace.com. I really do I really do believe in that brace. Again, the people, I don't want to get too far into this. We need to move on, but the people that say, oh, I hear you're more likely to break your collarbone in a tip over. I'd much rather break my collarbone than break a neck.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I feel like it's a good thing for me to wear. I wear the wrist brace too. I'm wearing Mobius right now, but, I've wore all Sport Dynamic wrist braces. The more protection, the better. Okay, let's move on. Let's close this thing out. We've got to do T-Boat USA Top 5, and we have to do FXR Picks, and we'll call it. But first, a chair beast from the factory floor to the finish line. This is a chair beast. For over 40 years, we've shaped the look, feel, and protection of motocross. Every curve, every vent, every color, engineered for riders who push the limits. Chairbeast plastics and accessories are built for durability, tested in the harshest conditions, and trusted by champions worldwide. visit acherbiesusa.com. Check out their full plastic kits, skid plates, hand guards, and all they have to offer. If you are a pit bike enthusiast and love shredded around on a CRF 110, KLX 110, or whatever you have, you need tboatusa.com bookmarked on your web browser. T-Boat USA is a pit bike supply site that has everything you need for your pit bike. You can find handlebar kits featuring BBR and Pro Taper bars, D&M shocks, and even full bikes from YCF, Pitster Pro, and Piranha. T-Boat USA has it all. They even have stuff for the Chinese bikes that are so difficult to find. Visit tboatusa.com. Our T-Boat USA top 5 this week was breakout riders to watch in 2026. Could be 250, could be 450. Scotty, does anybody stand out for you? 5 guys that you kind of could have a breakout season you expect something out of.
I think we talked to one of them tonight, Daxton Bennick. I think it's going to be one. I also think that, I don't know if you can really call it a breakout because he's kind of already been there, but I think Hymas will finally get hopefully if he has a complete season, he can finally get some of the accolades that backed up his speed. I also think based off of some of his off-season performances, I think Lux Turner is going to turn a lot of heads.
Yep. He's got to heal up, but yeah.
And then I think I think Garrett will do good in the 450s.
Marchbanks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yep. Marchbanks. I think that's going to be one to watch for him. And then maybe just a little wishful thinking and recency bias, but I think Craig's going to have a turnaround. Christian Craig's going to have a turnaround season as well.
All right.
So.
Chase, you got a list?
He touched on a couple of them.
Yep, that's fine.
Bennick and
I
Marchbanks.
didn't touch on any of them, dude.
Yeah.
You probably did.
Bennick and Marchbanks, but
that's why he wants to know how old they are.
All right. Yeah. Got to keep it legal, man.
Let's see. You said something about Hampshire too, didn't you? Or
no, he didn't mention
Hampshire. He had like a really good season. Actually made it through the season completely. I think he'll.
Did you see the news on him today?
I saw that. Yeah. But I think
no, I did. I saw it.
Oh, because I put it as a news story.
Yeah,
sorry to interrupt you.
It was per
Lewis Phillips.
Per Lewis Phillips.
Yes.
I think Voland after doing a full season with changing the brake setup and all that.
Yep.
And then Cade Johnson.
Okay.
I almost had him too, but since he's doing features and stuff, yeah.
Yeah, well, like, I don't know. That kid is a really good kid.
Yeah.
I really like Cade. And he's been doing it on his own, and then Team Green gave him a little bit of a chance. And I don't know that he'll stay with Team Green, but I think he'll get something out of it. I don't think so.
To do what he did off of like 5 hours of riding on that bike and Minios was really impressive.
Yeah. Can't argue that. All right, my list, they weren't really in any order other than my number 1 is Pierce Brown. I'm always high on Pierce. 4 podiums in his career, 1 Supercross win at the end of 24, SMX win at the end of 24.
What is that? Yeah, I guess that'd be kind of the same thing as Hymas. Like they can't really call it breakouts because they've already kind of won races and stuff. But like,
but he hasn't had a great, really just he hasn't had the full season that I think he's capable of. So that's what I mean by that.
Right. Same with Hymas.
Yeah, he coming off the back injury that he had in Tampa. He's had in 2020 he had a shoulder and knee, 21 thumb, collarbone, and wrist. So I need a full healthy season with really great results. That's kind of what I mean by that. I also said Daxton Bennick, new team. We already talked to him, so you know. I said Lux Turner also won the first 3 rounds of the Australian Supercross season before getting hurt. He's got a broken right wrist and sprained left. So if anything, he'll probably be East, but then does Bar-X do East?
I'm not sure.
So it's hard to say, but if he can get back healthy, I expect good things from him. I said Drew Adams also, year 2. I think he was thrown in early last year, and then he got hurt in Glendale. So then I kind of have a bunch of guys that are just like, kind of like you said, like Christian Craig, Dylan Ferrandis on the new bike, Cullen Park.
Yeah.
Jalik. I wrote, this is sort of like a hot take or whatever for next week almost, but Jalik gets a win, his first win.
I could see
for sure.
So, whether that's considered a breakout ride or not, that's the kind of guys I had on my list. So,
God, if Jalik could put a season together.
Yeah.
I know.
Okay. So we're getting ready to do FXR picks for World Supercross final round. Just obviously,
who win the
I'm going to go 450. Like basically, whoever you want, but the 3 key guys are probably going to your podium. But
I
before
think
we
that's
do that,
pretty
I want to
much-
remind everybody, top 5 next week is top 5 guests on the MotoXpod in 2025. So send them in on MotoXpod.
I think
Contact form.
Anstey will win SX2.
Yeah, I think so. I think
Are we
so.
just doing
It's a hot
champions?
take.
Yeah, we're going to do the podium.
Okay.
Well, we're going to do the championship podium after next week. So not the race podium, but the championship.
I'm sorry, where is that
podium.
at again?
It's in South Africa.
Do we have any idea what this track's going to look like?
No idea.
Okay.
So I'll go first. So I say Jason wins the title, Jason Anderson. He's leading right now, but obviously he's tied with Savacci. But I'm going to say Christian jumps Savacci into second, and Savacci gets third. That's my podium for the title, which means it would be the podium for the race also.
It's, this series, like you mentioned earlier, like that's been so inconsistent on what the track's going to be like, which is, like we agreed, is a good thing. But not knowing any kind of variable of the track, it's kind of hard to say. But I think if it's a semi-normal-ish dirt like we had maybe in the second and third round, I think Christian goes from third to first. So I'm going to pick Christian to win.
Okay.
I'm going to put Anderson second and Savacci third.
Okay.
Yeah, I was going to say, well, to be different, let's say Savacci wins.
Okay.
Anderson-
Somebody's going to be.
Yeah, somebody's going to be right?
Anderson second and Craig third.
All right.
I don't know, man. Freezy might make a comeback.
On the start.
Yeah. I guess I
all
can't
right.
say too much. He's rocking my number now.
Show started off a little rough here and there, but overall, pretty fun show. Some good information. Good times. I want to thank John Anderson, Bradley Sheren, and Daxton Bennick. I want to thank Yamaha Motor USA and
Turd.
Race Tech. What's that?
Turd.
Yep. And we now have a graphic for Turd when he's on the phone.
Yeah, I put it up.
Yeah, I'm just saying we now have one. I finally did
I
that.
put it up, dude. Jeez.
I didn't ask if you did or not, bro.
I'm working on
Calm
it.
down. Don't shed any tears.
Oh, God, yeah.
Anyway, I want to thank Race Tech, Yamaha Motor USA, Guts Racing, X Brand, FXR, ETS Racing Fuels, T-Bolt USA, Grill Your Ass Off, a Cherubies. Keep hitting that button. Boy, it doesn't
Bro,
take
what
much.
are you doing?
It doesn't take much to push that button. I didn't realize it. Boy, my finger's like hovering. Yeah, we'll be back next week. Should be all 4 of us in studio
Secret
for
Santa.
a Secret Santa Christmas final show of the year. We're out.